I just want to point out that Finn and I are on time today. So please, hello, Liz Tricks, are you in here? Please make note. Finny. Oh, good. Liz Tricks is here. Liz Tricks. Hey, Cliff Ann. Please add that to the minutes, Liz Tricks, if you don't mind. Here's our little boy. Hey, Peggy Collins. Hey, Sassy Savage Mods. Thank you for being here. Alabama Rose, welcome back. I was going to say, you didn't leave us yesterday. I am impressed. I'm impressed that you're here for round two. Quite honestly, we can't seem to keep anybody. You know what I mean? It's hard to do these days. It's hard to find, the right people that fit into your weird world. Hey, Alana. Hey, Catherine B. I'm proud of you, girl. I'm really proud. Hey, Carrie Wilson. Alicia, Buffy. Hey, Joanne Hawley, Marie Marion, Meredith Lynn. Hey, K-Fic. It's good to see you, babe. Hey, Cheryl Anderson. Hey, Lindy. Aspire to Inspire. Look, it's Brian Boland. I love that you made it again, Brian. I love that we're alive, everybody. Scary day yesterday. Honey Lou, welcome back. HB from LBC. Yorkie Mom, I'm happy to see you, Pam. Wisconsin Barb. Caroline in Canada. Hey, Lori Lee. Hey, Tammy. Hey, Michelle Asbel. Ow, 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 ow. Ooh, ooh. Naomi Hales. Llama Lisa. Oh my God. Callie Galley. He's so cute. It's a lot. Jen Pookie. Bigsy made it. Hey, Bigsy. Hey, Sherry Taylor. Thank you, Alabama Rose. Hey, Debbie Zito. Jana Hertzberg. I feel like I'm missing people. Sorry, guys. Jana Hertzberg. Hey, Ann. Hey, Bumblebee. Carolyn Cotter. Oh my God. Brian Boland. Is he so cute? Showing his balloon knot, showing his beehole. Hey, Robin Miners. Libby Jackson. Good to see you, girl. Happy birthday to Bigsy. Is it Bigsy's birthday? Happy birthday. I love that. Hey, Tashbits. No one judge me. I went to Publix today. Do you remember when I fell in love with this last week at the dollar store? I got so excited. She's a little bit jealous of Finn. Yeah, a little bit. Tony's cuter. I know he's such a huggy little love bug. He's a little glowworm, Jessamine. Guys, I got a 6-pack of these. It's Yadira. It's the Manipulation roll call. Manipulation Nation. Hey, drive-in fan. Anna Banana. Not too much damage. I mean, like I've got like some siding flying off and I think we lost a shutter or something, but who doesn't? That's every day here. Nobody judge me. Jessica, welcome, girl. I got a 6-pack of these at Publix today, but look, it's the small bottle. It's a small bottle. How much sugar is in this? 21 grams. You get that in a ice cube. Get out of here. Yeah, Brian Boland, you absolutely should. And that's the point of our lives. Dreaming of blue skies and sandy beaches. Hey, babe. Ooh, Meredith Lynn, that's terrifying. I don't want sugar-free. It's going to make me crap in my leggings. I don't wear leggings. Hey, Iwa. Lisa Vining. So let's talk about this. She says, I like that shirt. I don't know if this is a shirt. I don't know if this is a dress. I wore it as a dress today, but then I realized when I got to Publix, hey, Puka Vista, hey, Mousy. Brian Boland, stop it. There's no such thing as TMI here. I don't wear leggings very often, Buffy. Here's the thing, guys. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a dress. Hey, Ellie. I got this at Anthropologie. I got it in the marked down sale. Like, I don't know, at least 5 years ago, because it's missing a button. It's missing a button in the back. So it was like super marked down. I can't even remember if this was $20, right? Hey, Silent Grief Talks, Michael Malloy. Here's the problem. I always thought I liked it. And every time I look at it in my closet, I'm like, is it cute or was it at the time? Is it now? I just heard something that either sounded like a flying cat or the shutter just blew off the house. Hey, Diana H. Deborah Ricci, welcome. Angie Mo. So I'm like, Is it cute or do I Lumen or do I feel like a clown? Hey, Don Davies, it's kind of clown like. So here's the other thing. I know extra 40% off everybody starting today at Anthropology, extra 40% off sale. It's short. So I put it on with a pair of I only have one pair of these golden geese. Um, these are the high stars. So they're like really, see the sparkles? They're really tall. They make me tall. Hey, Armine. And so I thought I paired it with this. You can't belt it. But anyway, the point is, thanks, Real Life School. Here's the point. My hair is super dirty. So I teased it up, did some pigtails, threw a hat on to try to match what we were doing here. But I don't know. Thank you, Mimi. Hey, SPTV watcher. Once I got out of my car and started to go into Publix, I was like, oh, this is short. I don't know if this is a dress or a shirt. Should I have tucked this into pants, perhaps? I mean, the guy that was walking toward me didn't think so, but it was short. And when the wind starts blowing, it literally blows into my flaps. Like I felt wind going caressing the flaps. I was like, this is too short. When you feel it on your flaps, but I don't know that I cared. Then I started thinking about, Reese, you're not a Scientologist anymore. There are literally no rules. I saw this old lady. She's probably like 95, make a reel. And she was like, did you know that you don't have to have a birthday to buy a birthday cake? She was like, you can just go buy a birthday cake. You don't have to tell anybody. And I was like, oh my God, she's right. I was like, Doris, you're absolutely right. So then I started thinking about Doris. It was a pretty bad hailstorm, Mousy. So I started thinking about Doris is real. And I was like, she's right. There are no rules. Like, I'm not breaking any laws by wearing something too shorty short. Not to mention, I don't have a damn husband this year round. I mean, not yet, but I don't have some dude being like, whoa, that's short, right? I don't know. So I guess I can't belt this, right? Oh my God. Look at that, guys, a super chat. Hey, Shell. I wanted to do this last night, but the storm got in the way. So getting it done before early for Finn. Bumblebee, that's really nice. That's super helpful too. Thank you. I'm going to, well, you guys that sent things for Finn, I appreciate it so much. And, oh yeah, Sassy, I could see that. Hey, Susan the Sage, he's going to go back for a, exam here in like 5 weeks. So I will put it toward that. Thank you, Bumblebee. That was very, very kind of you. I mean it, guys. That's very kind. So I'm going to stand up and I don't want anybody to freak out. You're not going to see my flaps. There's no wind in here. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to try to adjust that fan. I'm hot. But I don't know. Let's all, you guys be the judge. Is this a shirt or dress? I mean, it's short. Like if I lift my arms, Fitty! Come here, Bubsy. Right? Like, it's short. I can't belt it. I don't know. But I was like, you know what? So what? Who cares? There's no rules. Oh, it's a shirt. Everybody's saying it's a shirt, except Sigrid. Whoops. Okay, so I forgot to put pants on. All right, well, that works too. You know what? Yeah, Yadira. That's what I say. Shirt. Brian Bowen says, you like it. Who cares? You know what? I might catch a boyfriend in it one of these days. If you belt it, it's definitely, yeah, Lumen's not sure what that is. Actually, Kathy says it's a tunic. Stella, where have you been, girl? My little boy. Yeah, I forgot to put pants on. Whoops. Cooterville. Yeah, it's a shirt. Okay. Well, you know what? All I did was go to Publix and the UPS store. You know, teach a man to fish. Okay. 6 of 1. Baker's dozen. Am I wrong? I don't know if I am. I see that on the streets of Vegas. See, it's a long shirt, says Jojo. You know what? Jojo Bananas. Yeah. Cootertown, population, Reese. You know what, Brian? I like the sounds of that. And I know that you do too. All right. Well, oh, Stella, you were here last night. Okay, good. Well, I don't wear tights. I did, Lori Lee. I did, but I've been gone, so I haven't opened anything yet, if you're asking me. But Lori Lee, I didn't get anything from you either. I have something from Abigail and I have something from Laura DePreet that I need to open. If you're asking me for that reason, this is summer in a bottle. Have you guys tried this? Oh my holy diabetes. This is worth diabetes, everybody. That could be a commercial. This is worth having diabetes. Buy it. I thank you, Sigrid. You know what, guys? Again, I'm not getting any younger. Okay. Brian Bowl and I will crap myself. I will have absolute anal leakage if I do the zero sugar one. Like, no, you don't understand. Oh, okay, Lori Lee, I did not receive it, but that doesn't mean I won't. I'll go back and check again. I don't know. I like a short dress. And again, I mean, this is one of the first times in a long time that I don't have a husband to tell me, whoa, that's short, girl. Whoa. Got no ring on this finger now. I'm single now. Melanie Johnson, longtime lurker, usually on the replay. Melanie, I love that you made it, and I love your picture. I wonder if you actually took that. It does taste like Hawaiian punch. I agree, Tash Bits. Next time I wear this, if I ever wear this again, I feel like a clown in it. Melanie, I'm glad you're here, girl. And thank you for speaking out. I love the lurkers. Yeah, Mona. Maybe if I ever wear this again, I will French tuck it. I'll French tuck it into like a high-waisted jean. That could be cute, right? Brian, you're so nice. Brian's the welcome wagon, and I love that. Yeah, fake sugar is bad for IBS, says Helena. French tuck it into my undies, Ghostwriter. I love that. Have some tequila with it. I'm liking this crew. I'm liking this crew this afternoon. So, guys, give me a sec. I'm on fire, and I don't know why. It's probably this giant tunic. Hold on. Does this fan go any higher, or is this as high as it goes, or is this it for us? Okay. Well, I guess that's just the way of the world. What about wearing short shorts underneath? Wouldn't we just call that underwear? Hey, Haggis Basher. Guys, I'm not really shy about my legs or showing anything. Oh yeah, that's better. That's better. I'm not weird about it. I know some people get really weird about that and they're like, ooh, that's short. I've never felt that way. I don't mind. And I see a lot of women wear short stuff that are not perfect bodied women like myself. Hey, rocks in a box. You know what I mean? Like curvier, rounder, chubby, you know, whatever you want to call us, potatoes, chub bubs, whatever. I've seen girls wear shorter dresses, and I never look at women and go, ooh, that's short. Now, don't get me wrong. I look at women's outfits and I'm like, did you leave in a rush? Like, what happened? I definitely do that. Don't get me wrong. But I don't ever look at somebody's I don't look at a dress and go, that's too short. I don't think so. But it could just be that I'm extra sexual these days. And I just feel like, get it, girl. Hike that up, get it shorter. Let's make that. Could we get it? Can you crop it? No. Elizabeth, I understand. Hey, Lisa Kelson. Thanks to Craig again. Shout out to Craig. Yeah, I forgot to put pants on with this top, apparently, Lisa Kelson, and that's a shame. But you know what? We will get through this sunny Wednesday. I actually have things I want to talk about, and I hope you're here for it. I hope that you're bringing your listening hats and your ears and turn up your volumes, Kestrel. Me too, Brian. I don't say it out loud, but a lot of times it's fairly humid, Bri. Well, thanks, no one. What was I saying? Yeah, no, I'm judgy. I'll definitely judge an outfit from afar. Doesn't mean that I'm right about it. It just means I'm like, what happened? Do you need a mirror, or did you leave in a rush? What happened? What's going on? Why did we leave looking like this? All right, Brian, here we go. Thank you, Mona. Oh my God. If that doesn't lift your effing spirits, get the hell out of here. All right, listen. Yeah, I judge the ensemble, not the body. And that's the way to do it. Were you shopping for Oh, on the low shelves, Heather? I wish I would have. Hey, love it. I wish I'd have thought of that. Peace Lady, did I say your name out loud or was that in my head? Anyway, welcome, Peace Lady. All right, I need my phone because I made lots of notes. I have some thanks, Shell. I have some things I want to discuss with you guys. Real issues, okay? I need your listening. Hi, Bubsy. Bubsy, my little boy. That's my little boy. I'm a little worried about Finney because, guys, I'm going to be honest. He's starting to get, I think I'm worried. He's much more lively because he's living now. And I'm worried that he's going to be eventually like, hey, I don't want to live in here. This is fruit punch, Mousy. Yeah, why not, Ghostwriter? Live it up. Get out there and be somebody, Ghostwriter. Write a book, okay? I'm afraid that eventually Finney, with his lysine that he takes every day, now that he's feeling fine, he's feeling fresh, and he's going to want to get out. And I'm going to be like, what do I do with it? Maybe he won't. Maybe he'll be fine. All right. We had therapy today, guys. Therapy went deep today. Therapy rolled deep. Okay. And I got a lot of things I want to talk about. I need your full attention. I need it. I need your full attention today. Okay. Where to start? Well, let's get our notes. Okay. All right. Let's pull up our notes. Now, oh, Jesus. I got a lot of notes. Hold on. Where are they? Uh, I probably need to be more organized as a human being, and I'm not. So one sec. Actually, that's how I started therapy today. I was like, I'm very disorganized in my head. I like to be organized, but I'm not one of those people with like a calendar making notes and doing stuff and like compartmentalizing my time. And I have got to do that. Okay. If anybody wants to help me, that'd be great. Laura DePreet, I love you, girl. Yeah. Hey, Renee B. Me too, Debbie Zito. All right. Where are my notes though? Oh, here they are. Alrighty, look at that. God, Huxley was so funny last night. I was on the phone with a friend. Well, I love that, Teresa. Totally off subject, but your lives got me through 2 weeks of having to spend time with my mother-in-law. Well, I love that. I really do. And I'm glad. I'm glad we were here to help. Amy Kimball. Well, thanks, Diana H. Well, thanks, Victoria. Hey, Scientology up north. Love the colors. Okay, well, then I feel less like a clown. Carrie Ann, good for you. Congratulations, Carrie Ann. That's huge. 3 weeks till graduation for her, guys. That's a big, oh, and I love your picture. Hey, Mittens. Hey, Holly Day. Huxley said last night, it was so funny. Shannon says, I've had cats with feline leukemia living with cats without it. They lived together for 13 years. We're fine as long as their shots were up to date. Okay. I will talk more about that when we go back to the vet. Hey, Liz Delgado. Thank you, Pete Taylor. Thanks, Little Mink. Dang, guys. Okay, good. Maybe I'll wear this shirt again. I've been kind of afraid to. Every time I look at it in my closet, I'm like, is that clown like? I thought I liked it. I actually have it in another color scheme, like a navy blue. Hey, Rachel Sandy. All right, Puka Vista. I don't mind that at all. Huxley said last night, it was so funny. We were going to bed and I was like, I said, well, we survived the storm, son. We didn't die. And he said, I kind of thought we would. He was like, I was a little concerned. I wasn't, I know, I think so too, Sassy. I wasn't overly freaked out, but I'm from Nebraska. We get a lot of tornadoes. Not yet, Brian. We're about to go into it. We get a lot of tornadoes. I was not overly, I did what any Midwesterner did during that storm yesterday. I was outside on my front porch the entire time. Like, hey, Pat Jonas, like watching. I was like standing there like a Midwestern person, looking, scanning the sky, watching. And I was like making Huxley get in the middle of the house. There's the middle of the house with like the most walls, least windows. I was like, stay right there in the middle. I got blankets. I got all of that. But I, of course, was doing what most people from Nebraska do, which is watch for the tornado to come down. Well, thank you, Carrie Ann. Oh, She said feline leukemia, but she did say it's like AIDS. So I'm not sure. I'll have to ask and confirm with that. Now that you say that, I'll have to double check that with the vet. Eye on the sky, Lumen. You keep your eye on the sky. You make your child get in there in case you die. But yeah. Finny, look at my little boy. Hey Karen, look at my little boy. My little boy. All right, so let's get into this because I have actual things I want to discuss that happened in therapy today. Okay. All right. Made a lot of notes. See, like, what does this even mean? I typed dilemma has emotions, themes, patterns. All right. The reason that I actually want your input on this, and I'm going to look this word up on my dictionary right now. I haven't even done it yet. I was like, I'll do it when I go live. We'll do it live. Okay. How did this come up? All right. This came up. Let me just start where this came up. Okay. So I'm in therapy today and I'm talking about last night's video because last night's video is still resonating with me. What we were talking about was, let me pick up where we left off. Made a lot of notes. Can't find the notes, but I made a lot of notes. Saved by Grace, story of my life. Okay. I was discussing with my therapist today about an important point that Jenna made on her video, which was Scientologists in general are not ever alone. Okay? We're not really ever alone. We always have our group of people that we are always surrounded by. Okay. So hey, Becky USA. So I brought that up. And then I said, and the other thing that I hate about the outside world, since I've been out, I say this to him. I said, I hate that it's so the opposite out here versus, I've said this to you guys, but versus Scientology. And what I mean by that is Scientology has its snitch culture. Yeah, handlers. Yeah. And sure, it is a snitch culture, no question. We do write each other up. We do report each other. I don't care if it's your mom, your dad, your husband, your wife, your son, your daughter. You're going to write a report. You're going to turn it in. And that's why I say, thanks, Christy Lynn Wilson. That's why I say, we stab each other in the front. Nobody really stabs anybody in the back that I can think of in Scientology. It doesn't really happen that way. It's very much like, I just wrote this report on you because you did something unethical. So like in Scientology, we have policies, right? We have walls that we have to remain in. We are boxed in. I know Mousy, she will come in. I'm trying to get them used to each other so I can bring Gertie in. People do report themselves. That's right. So like we have strict rules and guidelines that we have to stay. It's only because if you get a report, you see the report. Yes, Brian. Yes. Hey, Crafty Carrie. I love that. And thanks for being on the replay crew, babe. Welcome in. Brian says, if you get a report, you see the report. Yes, for the most part, 100%. If you get a knowledge report, Brian, that's policy is you give the person a copy. Other reports, sometimes not, but definitely the biggest report typically is a KR anyway, a knowledge report. And yes, you get a copy. The point is, there really isn't any like gossip, like all this bullshit that goes on in the outside world, like hate. So it's busting you for your own good. Yeah, love it. This like these weird cackling hens that like get together and like people just who like hate band together and like we're all gonna gang up and be mean and bully and try to intimidate, like all of that. Yeah, there is no gossip allowed. That's absolute truth. In Scientology, the word for gossip is called nattering. And I don't think that's an English word for you guys. Yeah, love it, of course. But nattering. So there is no, thanks, Becky. There is no nattering in Scientology. Nattering is gossip. It is talking about, it's also a British term. It's talking about other people, badly about other people. And it is no joke. Yeah, Brian. It is no joke as far as, and Interesting, Hag. Hey, Professor Kakan. Haggis Basher, it's not the same thing in Scientology. So nattering means chatting amongst yourselves. So that may be like the British term for it. In Scientology, nattering is basically, oh, Helena, interesting. It's basically talk, it's gossip. So if you are in session, this has happened to me so many times. If you're nattering about someone, LRH says that equates to, there's again, in Scientology, we work in absolutes. It's black and white. There is no gray area. Hey, Aileen, there's none of that. Okay. So, okay, Puka Vista. If you're in session or if you're out of session, either way, if you natter about somebody, that means you have overts and withholds on them. LRH says that it's an automatic. So I remember one time I was in session. I'm talking away, holding the cans. Alex Carr is my auditor. The guy in the middle right there, that's my auditor. He's audited me pretty much my entire life. He's been on staff the longest. So Alex is my auditor. He's running the meter. I'm on the cans. And I'm literally in the middle of talking. And this will happen to you guys, for anybody who heads up, if you join Scientology. If you are in the middle of a session, you could be in the middle of anything. And I remember this so clearly. I was in the middle of holding the cans. I'm just talking away. I'm just, giving up my whole life, talking about everything. And I know, Mousy, I got to get used to that. And hey, Rhonda McNeil, I'm talking to Alex and I say something about my dad. And I go, even though I was like, I don't talk to him anymore. We don't talk, obviously, because he doesn't talk to me. Hey, Crystal Primo. Hey, Miss Sassafras. Alex stops the session. He doesn't stop. He stops me. And he goes, has Jean missed a withhold on you? On the question, has Jean missed a withhold on you? Has anything been suppressed? On the question, has Jean missed a withhold on you? Has anything been invalidated? And the meter reads, and he looks at me and he goes, has Jean missed a withhold on you? I will be in the middle of something just totally off, talking about something else. And they do not mess around. Hey, Trisha Kelly. Thanks, Trisha. With as far as nattering, gossip. Scientologists do not mess around. They will full-blown stop a session if you barely say anything. So my point is, I nattered about my dad just because I said we don't talk anymore. And nattering equates to, there is no gray area. Nattering means you have done something to that person. What did you do to that person? So I'm like, my dad, he doesn't talk to me anymore. We know that. He stopped talking to me. So anyway, back when I was at my house, has Jean missed a withhold on you? So it's immediately, what did you do to him? That's what it means. Thank you, Angel K. Lenora Gray. Hi, Reese. You are just adorable and such a bright light to my day. So glad to finally make a live. Lenora, I'm glad that you made it. That's such a sweet thing to say, babe. Thank you for saying it. And thank you for your super chat. Hey, Susan Cook. Well, I'm told I have a good one, Brian. Hey, Dawn. So yes, you get blamed if that's what I'm trying to say. If you talk badly about someone else in Scientology, what did you do to them? Immediate. There's no question. There's no question you have overts and withholds. You did something to them. So if you're like, if I said, ooh, I don't like her outfit, your auditor would go, did that person miss a withhold on you? On the question, did that person miss a withhold on you? Has anything been suppressed? On the question, did that person miss a withhold on you? Has anything been invalidated? Okay, there is no question. So you learn real fast not to natter in Scientology. You get written up for nattering. It's a big deal. Oh my God, that's funny. Put on better layers. Just curious. Yes. Yes, Brian. So off kind of the topic, but I wanted to make that point. Okay. So in Scientology, you do not gossip. You never gossip, guys, because it means it equals. So if we're just chatting in the lobby of the Church of Scientology, if you and I are seasoned Scientologists, um, Mar Lugo, I was going to text you today and say, I miss you and I hope you're okay. Okay. I am so happy to see you, Mar. I was starting to worry. Yes, they do talk like that, Time Mark. That's exactly, I was giving you an exact command. I'm not giving you my own words. That's Scientology command I just gave you. Um, so if we were in a lobby in Scientology, here's the thing: you can't tell a person they have overts and withholds really outside of session. But I would write that up. Hey, women's warrior, I would write it up. So if you're a seasoned Scientologist, you never, ever, 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 you would never be like, yeah, did you hear about her? Yeah. So she's a joke. That's what she told me too. Did she tell you that? So that's everyday gossip talk outside in this world. You do not ever do that in Scientology. You do not do that because you get written up. Hey, Mary's Gemini mine. Yeah, that's not a question or inquiry. It's a command. Yes. Time Mark, that's a command. So I was literally talking about my dad for 2 seconds. I'm telling a whole story in session, and then I switch off just to say, well, you know, my dad, he doesn't talk to me anymore because he stopped talking to me when I was 16. Anyway, back to the story. My auditor stopped me immediately and said, has Jean missed a withhold on you? Right. Why would they ask him the same question? So it's to get the meter to read. It's actually much more than that. I'm just giving you the first two commands. So you're trying to get the meter to read. So he would say, on the question, did Jean miss a withhold on you? Has anything been suppressed? On the question, has Jean missed a withhold on you? Has anything been invalidated? On the question, what's the next one? No one. Has Jean missed a withhold on you? Has anything been misunderstood? It's those three. You can keep going. There's a really long list of it, but those are the main three. Suppressed. Has anything been suppressed? Has anything been invalidated? Has anything been misunderstood? So it's a command I'm giving you. I'm not veering off. That's exact command. Reese, what does it feel like to not be able to be authentic? I would be a wreck in Scientology. I would never know who to trust or who to a friend was. Seems lonely and anxiety inducing. Hey, Elizabeth Miller. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I took it just fine, but I was in trouble all the time. I just got written up all the time. I kind of was my authentic self. I just suppressed myself. I was more quiet, but I got in trouble for misapplying the tech a lot. Um, the wording is confusing. If you have a withhold, wouldn't you have missed it? Not him. What it missed a withhold. Okay, so it's a wrong indication. So let me try to. A withhold is something. So you commit an overt, and an overt is just a crime. An overt is a transgression, and then you would say who missed it. Yes, right. So who missed it? So I'm going to go. Who missed it? My mom. Good. What did she do to make you wonder whether or not she knew about what happened? Well, she gave me a weird look when she walked past me. Good. Who else missed it? My sister. What did she do to make you wonder whether or not she knew? She asked me about it and I lied. All right. Who else missed it? So you go on and on and on. So you're asking who missed whatever the transgression is, right? And once you commit the overt, it becomes a withhold because you're withholding it. You're withholding it. They didn't know about it. Yes. Hey, Leslie Mosley. So has Gene missed a withhold? Like, did I do something to him that he missed? And they're trying to pull that. And then what happens is I give it up, I get it off, and I go, yeah, I did. Hold on, my mom texted me. She wants to call me, and I'm asking if it's an emergency. Hey, Eric. There are no secrets in Scientology. Okay, not an emergency at all. Hey, DS Kitty Diane. Thank you, Kiki. So it's there are no secrets. So a withhold would be, hey, oh, Susie Q. A withhold would be a bit of a secret. No one said. Okay, Rachel, good. Okay, it seems like everybody got it. A withhold would be, I'm withholding it. I'm keeping the secret of the overt, right? So the problem is you get all that off, and then you have to get another one and another one and another one, and you have to go through who missed it. Hey, Critters Creations, it's a whole thing, and it goes on for hours and hours and hours. Hey, Audrey, what's this time mark? Would they go to him and tell him you brought it up in your session? Absolutely not. No. You cannot, you're not supposed to actually talk about what happened in session at all. You're not supposed to, unless it's a win, which is a success. You are not allowed to talk about your case, and your case is what everything comes up in session. So no, you're actually not supposed to. I got in trouble all the time because I broke those rules because I talk about everything. I do it here. I did it in Scientology, and I got in big trouble for it. It is very exhausting. Bumblebee knows the answer. It is very exhausting. So I'm trying to explain, this has nothing really to do with what we're talking about today, but I do want you to understand, hey, Dylan, it's the cookie jar over and over, Dylan, like your new picture. I got in trouble all the time. I'm trying to get you guys to understand the importance that in Scientology, guys, we don't gossip. We don't gossip. There is none of that. You know, all this shit that's going on with like, let's get together and hate Reese and do a hate campaign. We don't do that. We don't do that. So that's oftentimes why I laugh at it a lot, because I'm like, what is this? It's so foreign to me. It's so like, I'm going to pretend to be your friend one day, and the next day I'm going to be like, band together with the haters. And like, it's so stupid to me, because I'm like, why wouldn't you just come to me? Like, why wouldn't you just say something? But half of them can't because they've never even met me. Like, it's just such a weird dynamic, right? Okay, so we understand that. Let's move on from it. The reason I bring that up, yeah, Angel K, it's hard to have a sound mind after that. You do feel like sometimes you're going to break. You know, it depends on how long you're in, whether it be a session or a security check, a sec check, right? If you're in ethics sessions, that stuff can be very, very hard on your mind. Like, it's exhausting. You're tired. You're worn out. You have to give up anything and everything. That's why, again, I don't have any boundaries. I don't have a problem talking about anything. Brian Boland mentioned TMI earlier. Not for me, because you have to give all that stuff up. You're not leaving until you give it up, right? So it's just it's very different for us. All right. So I bring that up to him, and I said, everybody stabs everybody in the front in Scientology. And in a lot of ways, I said, I miss it. I kind of miss that, yeah. Okay, Dylan. Thank you, Ty Mark. I know, Brian. In the ethics book, the example of a withhold was a cookie jar and a child taking a cookie, then showing signs of being withholdy. Yes, there are signs to people there are actual manifestations of a person who has hey, Heather Rhodes, who has a misunderstood word. There's manifestations to someone who's committed overts and withholds. L. Ron Hubbard wrote it all up so that we never had questions. We never had to question anything. And if we did have a question, we simply go into the index of one of his books and we find the answer, right? Hey, Just Jen. So I tell this all to my therapist. And he said something to me that I thought was interesting, and I didn't understand. This is an outside word that you guys use that I've never used in Scientology. You guys use it a lot, okay? But I don't fully get it. So he says to me something. I didn't write this down, so I don't know. Oh, yes, I did write this down. He says, interesting. He said, let me get this straight. He said, it almost seems like Scientologists don't project. And I said, look, let's just clear this up right now. I said, I hear this word a lot, and I don't know that I fully understand what project means. I don't know that I fully get it. And I said, what does it mean? He goes, well, what does it mean to you? And I was like, to me, this is what I said, and I don't think this is right. To me, projection or projecting means like I'm putting my shit on you. Like I said, and this is the example I gave. I said, I'm better at examples and like concepts. So I said, thank you, Sassy's dad, Conroe. I said, projection would be like if you went to a restaurant and you were like, I hate this and I want my meal for free and this wasn't right and the service was bad. Like to me, that's projecting. So is projecting just pouring your shit on someone else? And he said, kind of, but he said, and this is what he told me, and I'm going to look up the word in a minute. He said, well, it's like a projector. He said, you know how you have like this tiny thing, but it flashes up information. It projects information off of a tiny thing. And I said, okay, yeah, I know what a projector is. And he said, so people do that with each other. And it doesn't, he said, necessarily have to be a bad thing. Like projecting can be a good thing on each other. It's not always bad. It's a way of coping with difficult emotions or thoughts by deflecting them onto an external source. Okay. I feel like that's kind of what I said. Hey, North Texas Angel. Welcome and thank you for being out of lurker mode for a minute. Liz Delgado, what do you mean? In context of therapy, projecting refers to a psychological defense mechanism where a person unconsciously attributes their own unacceptable thoughts, feelings, or behaviors to someone else. It's more along the lines of you're placing your visceral reaction of something on someone else. Yes. Okay. Projecting is a way to avoid self-awareness. I like that. Hey, Linda McMillan. Project to display outwardly. Thank you, Dylan. Okay, no one. I'm glad that you don't. It's not a Scientology term. We don't use it. Hey, Bohemian Luciferian Witch. So I wrote a bunch of notes here that he and I shared today, and I want to talk about this because he said it doesn't seem like Scientologists project on each other. But I was like, I don't understand that concept, right? So I'm just going to read you my notes, okay? Interesting, Professor Kakan. Okay. Okay. So I wrote, we project, not good or bad thing. We use it to empathize. Now, this was a lot from my therapist's mouth. I was writing as fast as I could what he was saying. Projecting is getting fired, then going home and throwing dinner on the wall. But it doesn't always. So beautiful dreamer, thank you. But he told me today, he said, it's not always bad. It doesn't always have to be a bad thing. He said, you could say something. And what did he say? You could say something like, you're raising your child really well. I like how you're doing that. I want to do what you're doing. Like it could be you can project with each other and it doesn't have to be negative. All right, so let me just read my notes. We project, not good or bad thing. We use it to empathize, trying to identify differences and boundaries. Do Scientologists project? Oh, he said, and I thought this was interesting. He said, do Scientologists project? He said, it seems like passive projection. He said, Scientologists seem to project passively. And I was like, see, again, I'm not fully understanding this though, because I don't get fully what project means. Yes, no one. And then I wrote, attributing thoughts or impulses to others. If the reaction doesn't match the situation, that can be projecting. That's what he said. If the reaction doesn't match the situation, he said that can be projecting. Oh, I thought this was really interesting. And this is just a side note. He said to me, I have to be aware not to give guidance that doesn't mix with my emotions, meaning he can't project because I'm hitting too close to home with something I'm talking about. And I never thought about that. And I said, as a therapist, does that happen? Did you have to get like educated or trained on that? And he said, oh, yeah. He said, we have to be careful as therapists because sometimes things that clients or patients will talk about, he said, will hit close to home and it can cause me to project. And he said, I have to keep myself in check to not do that. Like we get trained to not do that. And I said, that is interesting. I never thought of that before. Makes total sense though, right? Time Mark, I think if he means if you have an understanding of what something means, then you try to explain that understanding to someone else. Scientology would not do that. They would encourage you to figure that out. Yes. Like he even said, he goes, like, you're projecting. I told him about Finn, and he goes, you're projecting on Finn. He goes, it's not a bad thing. He goes, but you're projecting like this cat reminds me of me when I was leaving Scientology and I was weak and had a rough life and upbringing, and you're putting it all on that cat. He was like, that's you're projecting onto the cat. He was like, it's not a bad thing. He said, it's just you are. That's you projecting on this cat. Projection is always outwards versus silence. There's a rule in Scientology not to evaluate, right? I was thinking that too, Dylan. That's why we don't. Yeah, Bumblebee. It was interesting too. I never thought of that. Yeah, Lori Lee. Kay Thompson, I've been thinking about you a lot today, hoping you're safe. Thank you, Kay. I am. I'm okay. We're good. It wasn't too terrible. Mutual outrudiments. Of course, I remember that term. Yeah, beautiful dreamer. So I'm just going to read my notes. I was typing so fast because he was saying things, and I want to try to break it down with you guys. But I want to talk about this subject. So we talked about, I wrote, if the reaction doesn't match the situation, that can be projecting. Separate situation you're trying to work with. Because there's a few things in common, everything is in common. So we started talking about, hey, JW, just the storm. We just had a bad storm. Everybody was worried. I'm from Wisconsin. Loved the porch truth. Oh, yeah. I don't have any pictures. There wasn't anything terrible. We didn't really have anything bad. I had to take a picture of some siding and a shutter, but otherwise, no. Yeah, I agree. Love it. So we talked about, because he said sometimes people will get, and I don't like the word triggered. Hey, West Coast Fancy Nancy. I don't like the word triggered, but people will get overly triggered about something because he said, there's something in common, but not everything is in common. Like, do you ever see somebody who I said to this, I said, I don't know what this means, but I think I know what it means. You guys say the ends don't match the means, or the ends don't meet the means, or something like that. Like you're overreacting to something. Huxley, are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Because does this make sense? Because there's a few things in common. Not everything is in common. Do you ever see the ends don't justify the means? Do you ever see somebody like get overly flipped out about something and the reaction is like way too high for the situation because they're projecting? That's kind of how I understood that. Like hey, Celtic Knot, they're projecting. Like just because there's like probably Scientology up north, just because just because there's one or two things in common. Hey, Loretta, they flip out. But hey, Kaz, like, because there's a few things in common, he said not everything is in common. Yeah, Lumen. So they like overly project, like they're projecting too much on you. Do you ever have someone do that? And it's like, whoa, like they're just like immediately offended about something. And it's like, whoa, I would say what Lumen just said is true. Like a lot of the people who hate me, they don't even know me. They hate me because I talk about the word vagina too much. Hey, Music Life. They hate me because I came up with 2 flaps and 4, and we talk about that. Like I go to places they're not comfortable with. So they decide that I am trash. They hate me and she shouldn't be on YouTube and it's TMI and all of that. But it's one of those things that it's like, the ends don't meet the means, or whatever the saying is that you guys say, right? Like it's too much. You don't need to be that upset. I said this to my therapist. I said, it's like you ate at a restaurant you hated. You don't have to go write a 14-page review on it. You could just never eat there again. Like, what a fucking concept. Hey, Zoe, I responded to your comment, Zoe. You could just never eat there again. And he was like, I know. it's annoying. And I said, it is. Hey, B Willow 5, because it's exactly that. Thank you, Celtic Knot. It's exactly that. Like, what a concept. You hate me? Don't tune in. Like, it's the same thing. Just because there's like one or two things doesn't mean you need to blow up about something, right? Um, yeah, Timber June. That's a great point. My take, I think they hate you to keep from dealing with hating themselves. Well, they're definitely, see, that's where I understand projection too. They're projecting so they don't have to look inward. A lot of people do that. Nobody wants to work on themselves except me, of course. Like, I think I'm motivated and I want to work on myself because I don't know myself. Coming out of Scientology, hey, Danya, I want to get to know what I like, what I don't like what was really me, what's not me. You know what I mean? Like, I was such a follower and a soldier for Scientology my entire life that I'm enjoying this self-reflecting and this work on myself because I really kind of want to get to know. I always say I feel like Julia Roberts in Runaway Bride. Remember, she was like engaged to 40 men and like she only ate her eggs the way they did. But then by the time she was single, she was like, I don't even know how I like my eggs. And she like tried all these different eggs. Hey, Emily Brooks, that's how I feel about coming out of Scientology. I'm like, do I like that? Or was I just told I like that? You know what I mean? Like, I'm really enjoying learning about myself. Thank you, Zoe. That's all. I'm not saying I'm better because I can self reflect. I just really, most people probably know themselves really well. I don't consider that I know myself. I feel grounded in my foundation. I feel like I know who I am, but it's taking some time to peel stuff away and go, oh, that was Scientology. See, that's not even me. That's not even something I enjoy or I like. That's just an automatic thing. That's autopilot. That's what I've been doing for 38 years. I can give you an example. Projection could be what happened with Jenna and Aaron's relationship. People put their experiences on their relationship issues. Yes. Same thing with me and Tommy. That's absolutely true. Like, people are projecting because of our relationship and how it went, or even before it all ended. Like, people would project. People do that all the time. It's not necessarily wrong. We all do it. We're human. I agree, Cliff Ann. It's not that hard. It's incredibly childish that people hate watch and then go write a dissertation about it. It's like, what a concept. Maybe just don't watch, right? Like, why are you hate watching? Why are you eating at a restaurant that gave you explosive diarrhea again? Why would you roll the dice on that? Like, if you hate it, you simply don't go back. Like, I would think it's like a vacation. You'd go, we hated that hotel. Oh, it had cockroaches. It was disgusting. We got food poisoning. Would you go back? Would you take your chances and spend money and go back? No, you wouldn't. I don't get it. Like, it's a thing though. It's a true thing. You know what? It's okay. Let them do it. It pays me. Pays to watch, right? Give me that view. It works. Marlugo, just curious, does your therapist have knowledge in religions? I don't know the answer to that. That's a good question. It's weird that you bring it up, Marlugo, because I asked him today, I said, have you ever had a Scientology client, patient? And he said, I don't think so. And I said, no, you wouldn't, because Scientologists are like, therapy is the devil, right? Thank you, Marlugo, for your super chat. And he said no. So I don't know as far as other religions, but I know he hasn't worked with people coming out of Scientology, which isn't shocking to me at all. But so I made this note. He said, I have to be aware not to give guidance that doesn't mix with my emotions. That was his sentence. That's funny, Jessamine. He said, being aware of your biases when conducting observations. Living within your own reality. See, I hate that I just made these random ass notes. I wrote stalkers, enough problems or grace. Oh, I know what that came from. Stalkers, we were talking about people who get over the top weird and project on me that I don't even know. Like, I was talking about the weird emails I get of people who, there are some people out there who think they know me because they've followed me forever and they watch me and they love me, but they will cross boundaries privately via emails. And they'll say very strange things to me. And I'm not going to share what those things are, but like things that make me feel unsafe. uncomfortable, right? Like, I know you, I know everything about you, I know your life because I watch your channel. That's to a degree very true, right? Because I share my life here and I make a lot of friends here and I consider all of you friends. But sometimes people can take that and cross the line, cross boundaries, like ask me things outside of here, ask for things outside of here. It can just get kind of, it can get weird for me and make me feel weird. Like people have asked me things and I'm like, now he said to me today, I'm really proud of you because he said, you are getting much better at your boundaries. Like I had someone last week. I'm not going to give much detail on this, just so you know, but I had somebody last week who said, reached out to me via Facebook Messenger. And they were like, I want to know this. I want to know your location. Where's your mom? Where's your mom located? They wanted to know all this weird stuff about where I am, like my town, all of that. Now, it's easy to find out. People talk about where I live all the time. I think people have posted my address. So it's not like it's super secret, right? Hey, Christy Kits. But I wrote this person back and I said, well, you're not going to get that kind of information from me ever. And that's crossing a line. I said, I will not share that with you. And I said, you're making me feel uncomfortable by asking me that. So I'm not going to share that. And they thought I was being unreasonable. This person was like, well, I'm just trying to ask you this. I just want to know. And I was like, no, I heard you the first time. I didn't misunderstand you. I'm just giving you a clear-cut answer that you're not going to get that kind of assurance from me. Like you're not going to get those kind of answers from me. Like it's okay to kill somebody with kindness. I'm not rude. I wasn't mad, but I was like, I had no problem saying, because this person was like, I don't know why you won't just share this with me. And I said, because you're making me feel uncomfortable and you're making me feel unsafe by asking me these things. So I was like, you're not going to get that information out of me ever. And he said, my therapist was like, I'm happy. Like that's a big move for you. As a people pleaser, I am usually like, okay, well, all right, I'll tell you. Like that's my style to give in, to bend, because I think I'm used to coming from Scientology. We have to give up everything. We have to give up Huxley. What is that noise? I was like dropping something. Okay. We have to give up everything. We have to give up everything in Scientology. There are no secrets ever. So I can remember one time. This is true. More than one time. This has happened to me more than one time. But I was asked to come to a Scientology fundraising event once. I was leaving course one night, and Leanne, who was the ethics officer at the time, she stopped me. And I was a public, she was in ethics. And she said, I need you to come to this event. It's Saturday at 6, doors open at 6. Who are you bringing? And I said, oh, I'm not able to come. And she said, why? And I said, because I have plans. And she was like, what plans? Why can't you come? Scientologists have no problem bulldozing through your boundaries. That's what we do, right? So like, I remember saying, I was like, well, I'm hanging out with a friend. And I started making stuff up because I didn't want to come. And she goes, well, how late does that go? And I said, I don't know. And she was like, can you come after you're done? They keep pulling the string. They don't give up. They don't slow down. Like it's a real thing. Yes. No one says science. I mean, they blow through those things. Yeah. Bumblebee and No One are both ex-Scientologists. They know exactly what I'm talking about. Well, if you did that, Lumen, then you're going to get a write-up. You're going to get written up for that, and they're going to blow up your phone. No, you're not allowed to have secrets, and you're not allowed to have any privacy, guys. Like I remember coming. I remember. I know exactly where I was standing. I remember coming down the stairs, and she said, "I need you to come Saturday. The doors open at 6. Who you bring in?" And she was holding a clipboard, and I said, "Oh, I can't. Why? I have plans. What are your plans?" Because whatever my plans are, they're not important enough, right? Like she's trying to imply we're here saving planet Earth and fundraising for a new building, and you wanting to hang out with a friend doesn't meet the criteria. So your ass better be in a chair Saturday at 6, is basically what she's saying. And that was my job too as the ethics officer. It's very entitled, Emily Brooks, but it's very everyday life in Scientology. There is no privacy. You do not gossip about people. There's no privacy about people. Like, it's just very different. Um, I would love to women's warrior. I would love that, but I'm not going to go to school. Hey, Bo Beats. Thank you, Bo. So back to what did it ever scare me, Time Mark? Never. Wait, what are you asking me? Are you talking about my life outside of YouTube, outside of Scientology, or my life when I was in Scientology? Never scared me in Scientology. That's just every day. Everybody knows everything about you. That's what I'm saying, guys. There's just no such thing as privacy. What if you just didn't answer the phone? I mean, Sherry Taylor, you can do that, guys. You can lie. You can say, sure, I'll be there. And then they'll blow up your phone. Oh God, Angel K, you would never say that. Angel K says, what would you do if you told them it's none of their business? You'd get written up for that. You would get written up for that. No, Time Mark, I've never been afraid. That's just life as you know it as a Scientologist. It's very common to know everything about you. And there's probably a lot of that has bled into me as, that just makes me think of being the ex-girlfriend of my ex-boyfriend or being the ex-wife of Jeff. Both of those guys would say, why are you such a sleuth? Why do you have to go through everything? Like going through their stuff. Like that's probably why. I'm used to wanting to know. Hey, Bear, thank you. My little boy, Elizabeth Miller. My little boy. I do want to know where I stand in relationships. I like to know. And if you come off as being a liar, if you're going to come off, hold on just a second. I don't know what I'm going to. Okay. He's cleaning his room. Hey, Celeste. Somebody just asked me a question. Angel K, he's doing a lot better. Mona, it is extreme. It is very extreme, guys. There is no secrecy. There is no privacy. And I don't care if you're a staff member, if you're a Sea Org member. Hey, Elena Rainerman, I don't care. Like, none of that matters. So I don't want to hear anybody go, well, you were a public. No, people will show up at your front door as a public unannounced to come in and ask you why you're not doing services more. They'll try to recruit you. They want to know about your everyday life. Hey, DNV, like, it's a thing, guys. It's not a staff Sea Org or public thing. It's a Scientology thing. You had to talk about sex in session. Why asking that? What is that all about? Iwa. Well, what do you like? I agree with no one here. You can't even masturbate. You can, but you have to talk about it. It's just, I don't know. There was a lot of fixation on sex. But to be fair, there's a lot of fixation on everything. There's a lot of fixation on everything. So I would say the biggest fixation on things in session is I'm going to star your Sarasota blend. I'm going to star your comment so I get it. The biggest, hey, Courtney, the biggest fixation I would say is overts and withholds. And Hubbard had hangups on sex, I guess. But yeah, I think Sassy's right too. In order to control you, to include controlling your privacy. Nothing is private. So I think that's my answer to that question. Bo says, I was watching that Jenna video, and what really struck me was when she said she felt like she has two different people. She was two different people. Do you ever feel like that? I'd have to go back and know what the context of that was. Two different people. Why? I don't feel like two different people. No. Thank you, Courtney. But I don't know what she meant by that, Bo. And if you could explain, then I could probably answer more there. Sarasota Blend, when you write someone up or are written up, does everybody else know it? Is it on a board somewhere? Sounds like a cold. No. There is a chain of command it goes through. So like oftentimes it will go through your auditor, your ethics officer, sometimes your supervisor, and the senior the CS, the case supervisor. So it goes through a chain of people. It depends on what the write-up is for. But yeah, a lot of people see it. A lot of the ethics officer will see it, the COPE officer, the HCO area secretary, the HAS, all the people in HCO will see it typically. It just depends on what it is. Yeah, Sassy. Yeah. Yeah, that's no one. That's what I'm saying. Ethics. So yeah, a lot of people are going to know about it. And then it depends too. There's something called an interrog. We had to conduct a lot of interrogs. It stands for interrogation, but we call them interrogs. And you can, depending on if you're bad enough, I've had a lot of interrogs done on me. If you're bad enough and like you're starting enough shit in the environment of the org and you're pissing off enough people, if you're not following policy enough, you can have an interrog done on you. And an interrog, hey, true to it, an interrog means every single person in the organization, so staff or public, doesn't matter. I mean, it can be conducted just by staff. It can be conducted to staff and public, to just public. It can be different groups. It can be the whole group. It depends on who's running it. But they put out an interrog where they will put specific questions about, hey, Tony P, about the person. So if I'm starting enough chaos and disorder within the org, so hey, Jane, does someone audit David Miscavige? I don't know the answer to that, Damasio. I'm sure he has an auditor. So we call it an interrog, though, Kestrel. Maybe, Time Mark. But I would have an interrog down on me, and it can be pages long. It can be a page long. It can be 30 questions. It can be 10. It can be 5. But it would be something, and they're customized, right? So like, it could say something like, have you heard Reese nattering, right? Gossiping about anybody in the organization? Have you seen Reese being out ethics at all? Has Reese said anything to you about this specific person? Has Reese done anything that you would feel is unethical in your own words? Like anything like that. Have you seen Reese not following policy? And each person has to give their answer, and then they turn in the interrog, and then you get in more trouble based on their answers. So like you can get what's called a court of ethics, which I've had countless courts of ethics. If the next step up from a court of ethics is called a COMEV, a committee of evidence, you get a COMEV. So that's what I'm trying to explain is like within the walls of Scientology, I miss it sometimes because here's the thing. You may be a fuck up like I was. You may get in trouble a lot, but we know the stakes. We know what's coming. I know what to expect. I know I'm going to get some kind of an ethics gradient step. That's a step, right? I just know what's coming, and I know my people out here. It seems like it's just this like free for all of people who want to just band together and bully and attack and hate. And it feels very much like a movie of high schoolers, like a clique of girls or boys or what have you. Like, it's just weird to me. I'm like, this is so weird, childish, very infantile behavior. It's just different, right? I just went back to the transcript. She said, I feel like my old self is struggling with my new self. I'm trying to find a happy medium and figure out who I really am. I mean, I don't want to put words in Jenna's mouth, right? My guess is she meant her old self, meaning her, coming from where she came from in Scientology, which is totally different than my upbringing. So, like, I think her background is very different. She was Sea Org, as far as I know, right? Is probably struggling, her Scientology self is probably struggling with the new world, just like that's exactly what I'm talking about right now. We struggle with that because you guys are absolutely nothing like what we're used to. And you also don't speak the language we speak. So it's very different. It's very different. And she's probably struggling with non-Scientology behavior is very, very, very different from what Scientology, hey, Scientology behavior. That's all. That's what I'm guessing because I do struggle with that. I don't feel like two different people though, but I struggle with that. I talk about it all the time here. How weird it is out here and how the behavior is so different. But I will say it's very freeing at the same time. Um, it's very freeing at the same time because I forget on the regular, I forget I'm not in any trouble. I'm not in trouble. I'm not going to get in trouble. I constantly feel this like fear. The only way to equate it is like an animal that was abused and you adopt and rescue it and you go to pet it all the time, but the last horrible evil person hit it all the time in the head with their hand. And so the animal is like constantly like when the hand goes to pet it, I've seen that in animals, right? And that's how I feel. I still have this like residual effect of like, oh, I'm going to get in trouble for that. Because that's how I felt all the time in Scientology. Like, oh, I'm going to burn for that. I'm going to get in trouble. Like I didn't follow policy. So I feel amazing though when I think about that and the freedom. I'm like, oh, like all these people who hate me and like smear me and talk shit. I'm like, oh my God, they can't do anything to me. I have to remember that. I'm like, I'm not going to ethics. There's no ethics officer. I'm not going to get in trouble. Like, I don't have some guy telling me I'm going to get in trouble. I don't have a fucking Jeff. I don't have my shitty ex-boyfriend. Like, nobody's coming for me. We're good. You're safe. Like, I have to remind myself, you're not going to ethics today. You are not going to get in trouble for that. Now, of course, I need to apologize sometimes when I say things or do things that I feel like I shouldn't have done. I don't mean there's no accountability. Woohoo! Like, no, I just mean I can think for myself and it's very freeing. But I understand if that's what Jenna meant. It is confusing. It's hard to balance the outside world. I feel like an alien. I feel like an alien. I don't often speak the language. I feel like I can't read people out here because people also, I told my therapist this today all the time. People are like, I would love to be your friend. I have wanted to meet you forever. I love you. Come, it's safe. Come into the warm water. Stab in the back. Like, I got receipts. Okay, Hux. I got receipts. I'm going to show that I don't like Reese anymore. And here's why. I want to show these receipts, why she's so evil. Like, I'm not used to that. And I have no idea if Jenna has a life like that either. She may not experience that. I don't know. But that's how I take that. Why is being threatened with expulsion from Scientology considered a threat? Sounds like an easy way to get out. Absolutely the opposite of that. In my opinion, the opposite of that. Because people are very fake, time mark. It's the only way for me to answer that. Someone else may give you a different answer. The only way for me to answer that is you are threatened your whole life. If you lose Scientology, you are boxed in, and we are made to feel very isolated, very special. Your plumber is your Scientologist. Your dentist is a Scientologist. Your employer is a Scientologist. Everybody you know is a Scientologist. Your life is Scientology, your husband, your kids, the money that you make, the language you speak is Scientology, right? So like we are also taught like we're we're this elite group, right? And we have all the secrets that the outside world doesn't. Also, the outside world is dangerous. Don't go there. You don't want to go there. They're dangerous people out there. So all those things, box that all up. You don't want to be threatened with expulsion. It's terrifying because you will lose in a heartbeat all of that. You'll lose your family, you'll lose your friends, you'll lose your language, you'll be isolated and put out and exiled into the real world and jettisoned, and no one will talk to you anymore. And you'll have to adjust. And that's what I've had to do the last couple of years. And it has been hard adjusting. And I do sometimes miss it. And I do sometimes miss the language and my people. And because it's kind of one of those things where we're like a piece of veal. Like we're just, that's just, I feel like they put blinders on us and they're like, don't look that way. Don't look that. Nope. You can only look straight ahead. Listen to what we're telling you. Look at what we're telling you. Don't look over there. Look at us. Like that's what it's like. How many years did it take me to watch the Leah Remini show and get my eyes open? I would never go to Google to look at anything. If someone tried to tell me, that's why I never told anyone I was a Scientologist on the streets in real life, because then I have to hear about it. And then I have to go be put on the cans about it. Then I have to be flunked for the way I handled it. Then I have to do a handling on that. Then I have to do training and be coached on in the future how to handle that. And I have to do that and drill it and drill it and drill it for hours. Not worth it. Not worth the cost. Not in my opinion. So it's a scary, you asked, wouldn't that be a good thing? Not really, because you climb so high up on that mountain. Looking down is terrifying. You don't want to go back down there. It took forever to get to here. You don't want to lose. You will lose everything, every single thing, right? Reese, yeah, Trisha Kelly. Hey, Yvonne. Good to see you, Yvonne. When prisoners come out, the number one reason they go back is because they have been indoctrinated and can't adapt to the outside world. It makes perfect sense to miss it. Honestly, that's a great point. Wow. Sad too. It's sad, but it's a great point. Look at my little boy. Here, let me get rid of that comment. Sorry, Saved by Grace. That was a great comment. My little boy. Look at him. God, I love him so much. So let me look at my notes again. But this all goes back to what I discussed today. As far as what is Saved by Grace, what is projecting, right? So, okay, just making sure he's okay. What is projecting? Thank you, Yvonne. He is amazing, Trisha Kelly. And that's why, is that a form of brainwashing? Oh my God, yes. Did you change your picture, Cliff Ann? You look good. Yes, absolutely. It's a total, I mean, now that I look at it, yes, it's a form of brainwashing, indoctrinating. I mean, I think that's what people say cults are. It's isolating a person down to feeling like they have no one else, to feeling like you only have the members of the group, and then you make them feel special because we only speak this language. They don't speak this language out there, so they make you feel special. But they also kind of beat you down. Like you step out of line, you're going to be out there in the wild with all those scary people, right? Is projecting when you see something in someone else that super annoys you, but when you look at it, it's just the same as you? I don't think so. Thanks, Bo Beats. Reese says, the lifestyle and experience has programmed mind, body, and soul to be one way. I agree with this. And when you find yourself in a new reality, it's a real struggle. You flip between fight, flight, and reality. Yes, I agree with that so much. I agree with that a lot. Yeah, I would say yes. Hey, Lady O. So back to this about projecting. So now after everything I've just said, let's go through my therapy session. My therapist says, he goes, so do Scientologists not project? He was like, it seems like they don't project much. He goes, and if they do, it's like passive aggression or passive projection. He said passive projection is what I wrote. So let me just go back up to my notes here. And it's just jarbled. Have I seen Aaron's interview with Rick Allen Ross about a month ago? I have not. And I don't know who that is, Rick Allen Ross. I wonder what I was talking about when I wrote this. I said, dilemma has emotions, themes, and patterns. I don't know what I was talking about there. Hey, Mar, just like animals, people can grow to trust. Binion hated us carrying him upside down and would have reflexes to our movements. Now he loves when we cradle him upside down like a baby. Look at Finn. That's true. That's a good point, Marlugo. Binion's story. I'm so glad that you got him. I couldn't believe that story when you told me. See, I love that. And it's true. People can, you're right. I like how you said would have reflexes to our movements. Interesting, Mar. She says, but just like animals, people can grow to trust. Oh, okay. Same thing. Okay. I think it was just a double comment. Thank you for your super chat, Marlugo. Yeah, that's true. And I agree with that. Amy Edge just got home. Got a tiny Jesus today. Oh my God. Did you find it in a plant or was it some kind of a tiny Jesus con like I'm trying to start up? Amy Edge, you're hilarious. Thank you, babe. I'm happy to see you. Thank you for your super chat. I wonder why I said dilemma has emotions, themes, and patterns. I wrote, we project, not good or bad or anything. We use it to empathize. This is all my therapist words. I was just typing what he was saying. We use it to empathize, trying to identify differences and boundaries. Let's talk about that for a minute. Me too, Saved by Grace. So I'm trying to figure out why I wrote this. Yeah, Mar, I agree. Finding the right people. Dilemma, and that she's at, that there's so much to that. Finding the right people. Like I came out of the gate and worked with a lot of the wrong people. Time Mark, I found 2 tiny Jesuses in a plant once when I was live a couple weeks ago. And some person said on a hate group that I put them there and I was trying to start up a tiny Jesus con. I'm not kidding. So ever since then, everybody's said that like they found a tiny Jesus and they're trying to figure out a way to con people. Someone put it on my door to my classroom. It was probably me, Amy Edge, just trying to start up a tiny Jesus con. Time Mark, it's unbelievable how much people need a life. We actually talked about that today too. Hey, congratulations, Celtic Knot. My son just had his 3rd daughter. Hey, Blue Girl, congrats to you and your son. That's amazing. And I hope the mother is safe and well. Dilemma has, yeah, we talked about that today too. People needing something to do. I said that to my therapist. I was like, it's crazy to me how much time people have on their hands to like get angry at such basic things. And he was like, you're telling me? I said, it's crazy though. Like the things that people get upset about, like you need something bigger. You need something to do, right? The NDA drama is hilarious. Time Mark, I don't know. You'll have to just go look around your town. I agree, Liz Delgado. Kestrel, I can't believe the NDA drama, but I kind of like it, to be honest. Like, I'm kind of glad I started that drama. Emotions, themes, and patterns. Okay, good. I love that. 6 pounds, 11 ounces. Perfect. That's so cute, Celtic Knot. Congrats again. People can be very stupid, Marlugo. And honestly, that's not our business. It's not even our time to waste on that. It's just, Lady O, it is. It's crazy, right? Time Mark. Emotions, themes, and patterns. And I'm assuming I meant projecting. Projecting has, hey, Sonia, emotions, themes, and patterns to it. Does it not? Do you guys agree with me on that? People do believe anything, Kestrel. It's wild. Sometimes I want to start rumors just to start them to see how far they go. Yeah. I agree, Mar. Like muscle, hey, Mandy Harper, like muscle memory. It's hard to make sense out of things after being conditioned to think outside of what you've always known. Show yourself grace, beautiful. I love you, Mandy Harper. Okay, so that's another thing you just made me think of. Amy says, I've been singing your goofy song ever since I saw it. All right, Amy. Well, since you super chatted us again, real quick, everybody, we're going to take a break. Take a tiny Jesus, put him in your pocket. Blee, 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 blee. Oh my God, Finn always wakes up to that song. Take a tiny Jesus, put him in your pocket. Blee, 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 blee. All right, back to our regularly scheduled programming here. Thank you so much, Amy Edge, for that break. Okay, that's where that note came from. This is where that note came from. I said, enough problems or grace. My therapist said that. And I was saying, people don't have enough problems if you're complaining about a stranger on the internet. Hey, Nacho's mom, like, I'm in the part where you're talking about what projection means. I don't think anyone's hit the nail on the head in terms of how I understand it. I will explain after. Okay. Julie says projecting is a defense mechanism where people attribute their own unacceptable thoughts, feelings, or behaviors onto other people. That's kind of how I take it too. Hey, Don Clark. But I said to my, hey, teacher's mama life, I said to my therapist, I was like, people, if they are this like able to waste time on somebody else's life and existence, like they need bigger problems. Like they're focused on the wrong problems. And he said, you need one, no one. He said bigger. He said either that or they need to get some grace. And I thought that was a beautiful thing. Hey, Patty. Patty says this shirt dress looks like Wilma Flintstone in a good way. I like that, Patty. Guys, do you agree with that? Because I do. Either get bigger problems, get batalas. Hey, December, either get bigger problems or get some grace. Get some effing grace. You know, you're big and bad and tough. You're Timmy Tough Knuckles. Oh my God, Huxley came up with a new one for me yesterday. Hey, Lemster. What's it called when you accuse someone of what you did? That's what I thought the definition of projection was, Kells Bells. It's also called projection. Huxley came up with a new one for us. You know, Huxley made up, I don't know if he made it up, but he talks about it. Timmy Tough Knuckles, people behind their keyboards. He gave me a new one last night. He was like, all those haters and bullies are a bunch of Timmy Tough Knuckles. He said they're a bunch of dangerous Dannies. I loved it. He's definitely my kid. Dangerous Dannies, guys. They're a bunch of dangerous Dannies and Timmy Tough Knuckles. When you think about it like that, how do you not take it more lightly? Joel Sachs, it's about time. Where have you been? I love you, Joel. I mean, every time there's a hater around now, we're going to be like, uh-oh, everybody. Mods, there's a dangerous Danny in the chat. There's a Timmy Tough Knuckles. You kind of have to do the cellist voice. The cellist. It's a Timmy Tough Knuckles. Dangerous Danny. It's awful. But that's what they are. They're a bunch of dangerous Dannies and Timmy Tough Knuckles coming at us. Coming at us, guys. Shields up, everybody. Shields up. We got a Timmy Tough Knuckles coming at us. Bunch of dangerous Dannies are in the chat. Entered the chat. That's hilarious. Huxley is so funny. The chillest, Buffy. Okay. They need to get some grace, but they're not going to find any grace, right? Bumblebee sound of cracking knuckles. Timmy Tough Knuckles. We got some dangerous Dannies entering the chat. Oh my God. Huxley is so effing funny. When I said to him last night, I was like, good night, son. Love you. Of course, I go to bed at like 8:30 now because I'm so tired all the time. And I was like, good night, son. Love you. And I said, he goes, good night. Love you. And I said, aren't you glad that we survived the storm? We didn't die in the tornado. That would have been horrible. And he goes, it was kind of dumb to think about it, but I thought I would. And I said, what? And he goes, it's dumb to think about. He was like, but I thought I was going to die in the tornado. I was like, son, that's sad. Poor Huxley had PTSD from the tornado. The cellist was Jeff the Jester. Yeah. So there's Marlugo. So there's this funny just off the subject, but Jeff, when he and I first started dating, Jeff was such a dick swinger in so many ways, you guys, in the best possible ways. Like, I could not keep myself from laughing on our first date. Our first date, okay? We go to a jazz club. It was really fun. We ended up going there all the time in Kansas City. It was so much fun. It was in the basement of this cool restaurant. And there's only one bartender in the restaurant. His name was Ben, and Jeff and him had been friends forever. Once I found this out, it was even funnier. Jeff's, big D swinger, being Jeff, West Coast, I love you, girl. And he goes, I'll never forget this. I was like, oh, I have never dated a dick swinger like this before. It was wild. It was so wild to watch. He goes, who's working at the bar tonight? He says that to our server, Clint. Okay. I love Clint. I'll never forget Clint. So he says to Clint, I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the menu, and he says to Clint, who's working at the bar tonight? And Clint goes, Ben. And then I come to find out, right? No time mark. I come to find out Ben is the only bartender and has been the only bartender for years. So he's just saying that to sound cool. Yeah, Debbie. And the guy goes, Ben? And he goes, tell him to make something for the cellist. And I'm looking at my menu and I was like, what the fuck did he just say? What did he just say? And I said, the what? And he was like, oh, I'm the cellist. He was like, everybody knows me as the cellist. And I was like, what the absolute hell is going on right now? And then come to find out later in our relationship and marriage, he always referred to himself as the cellist. And I was like, this is God. I don't know. I was every time. Do you guys remember my friend Ryan, who's been on with me? Ryan used to meet us down there for cigars with Jeff. And Jeff did this for years. And he'd be like, table for three of us. And he'd be like, tell him it's for the cellist. And Ryan would look at me and be like, he was serious. That's the worst part. He was serious. Sassy, he's doing good. He just had a birthday. Ryan did. So did Jeff. They're 5 days apart. We would always look at each other almost like brother and sister. And he'd be like, tell him table for three. He'd be like, for the cellist. And me and Ryan would be like I would have to turn around. I would be like, it was so fucking. Do you ever feel embarrassed by association? Like it wasn't. Yes, West Coast fancy secondhand embarrassment every single time. And then we'd sit down and we'd get a menu and it'd be a new server. And he'd be like, what's your name? And she'd be like, Courtney, whatever it is. And he'd be like, Courtney, I'm the cellist around here. My name's Jeff, but I'm the cellist. And Ryan and I would be like, and if there was any chance he'd get up to go to the bathroom, I'd be like, Courtney, I just want you to know that I'm embarrassed. That's my husband, but I don't condone this behavior. And please don't associate me with it because I'm incredibly embarrassed. Can you imagine me being like, I'm relatable, Reese? That's what they call me around here. Like, it's so, I could not, it was so embarrassing. So embarrassing. I couldn't deal with it. And if I was alone with him and he would do it, he'd be like, I'm the cellist. I'd be like, I'm not kidding. I would look at the people and I'd be like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't associate with this. I'm so embarrassed right now. It's so embarrassing. Who does that? Oh, it was so bad. Shields up. I don't know Star Trek, but one of my close friends, Bo Beats, her boyfriend is a huge Star Trek fan. And she told me that he says that to her all the time when she feels nervous. She'll say, shields up. You married that. Think I only judge you poorly. And you know what? I deserve every moment. Cringe-alicious, Lori Lee. I deserve every bit of judgment for it, you guys. Trisha Kelly, everybody's saying cringe. You guys feel cringy? Can you imagine? Like, it's one thing to do it to be funny. Like, it would be one thing to try to pull that off, like, and keep a straight face and be like, table for 3, you know who I am. I'm relatable Reese. Like, can you imagine if I was actually famous and, like, did something like that? I can't even hardly say it. It's like, I'm so embarrassed. Oh, Liz. I just got a text that a good friend of mine passed away this afternoon in a bit of shock. Liz, prayers for you, babe. I know you do, Alicia. I am so sorry, Liz. I will text you after this. I'm terribly sorry. Such a scary thing when that happens. That's happened to me before too. It's horrible, Liz. I'm very, very sorry. Yeah, Professor Kakan, you should. It actually kind of makes you feel good. I'm sorry, Liz. We love you. Yeah, it's good. Hey, Kat. Liz, I'm very sorry. The audience here, the chat is lifting you up. You know what? We could use a cello emoji. Why don't we have a cello emoji? Jessica says projecting is a psychological defense mechanism where individuals unconsciously attribute their own thoughts, feelings, or behaviors to someone else. This often occurs to avoid confronting their own shit. Okay, so this is kind of one of the best ones that I've seen, Jessica, because I'm trying. Yeah, Jeff played the cello, Mona. He was very good at it. In all seriousness, Jeff, I mean, I only heard Jeff play the cello 2 times in 5 years, but when I did, hey, waitress lady, I'm so important. Yes, you might as well just say that. Hey, I'm kind of a big deal. Table for 3, please. Lemster, don't even say it. Yeah, it's so bad. But this is probably one of the best ones, Jessica, because my therapist kept saying today, music life, it's so embarrassing. And you know he's still pulling that shit. You know he is. The cellist, Timmy Tough Knuckles, Dangerous Danny. Projecting is a psychological defense mechanism where individuals unconsciously, well, see, my therapist said today, sometimes it is conscious time too. He said that. He said it can be conscious or unconscious. Uh, the cellist. Hey, Trixie. Unconsciously attribute their own thoughts, feelings, or behaviors to someone else. That's a pretty simple breakdown. That's a pretty simple breakdown. I think that actually helps me to understand it the very best right there. That's all it is. And it doesn't always have to be a bad thing. I know that we attribute it to a negative thought, but I don't think projecting has to be negative. I don't. And I think it makes sense that I never really understood. Oh my God, Janet, the chillest. I think that I didn't fully understand what projection meant because that is not something we use in Scientology. That's another, what I would say, psych term. Scientologists, Angel, Scientologists, we never used the word like narcissist, depressed. I didn't even know what PTSD was. There's just certain terms we call psych terms, and that would be one of them. Projecting in my upbringing would have been known as a psych term. So I know you guys use I hear that word in the everyday world all the time, all the time. But I never really fully got it. There's actually quite a few concepts that you guys use a lot that I go along with, but I kind of halfway, like half-ass get it. Projection, I think I kind of gathered what it meant, but yeah. Oh, Buffy. Clay fan. I'm trying to think of other ones. Like there's other things that you guys say. Well, a lot of people use the word, hey, Shelly Kelly, Shelly. A lot of people use the word even narcissist. I try to stay away from that, or even gaslight. I think I have a pretty good understanding of what gaslighting is because that's pretty much what my ex-husband was. Yeah, Liz. But even narcissist, tend to stay away from that because I'm not entirely sure what it means. That's a great question. Huh. Every time you do the voice and say the cellist, I imagine a little cellist cherub floats across the screen like a ball of cat hair. That is hilarious. Um, I do not know the answer to that, Ree. I've never heard. Oh, Anna Kendrick? No, I don't think she's a Scientologist. I don't think so. Uh-uh. Sarasota Blend says, obviously you don't have to answer, but since your breakups were so public, none of our business, but who do you miss more? Or do you not miss either one? Man, that's a great question. Ooh, that's a good question. Do you guys mind if I break that down? I don't want to start any shit, but you know that's my middle name. Can we break that down? We've got 20 minutes. Because I have answers for that. I got really good answers for that. It's actually something I feel like I'd like to talk about. So, it will be clipped and the haters will feed off of it. Well, they're hungry. We got to breadcrumb them. We got to give them a couple breadcrumbs for the day. Anna Banana, yes. Why 20 minutes? Because I usually go to 2 hours and then I feel like you guys are like, okay, time to go. Sometimes these 2 hours just fly by, guys. I love this question. Who do you miss more? So I will give Tommy this. He did seem to have a lot of patience and enjoyed explaining things in certain words that you didn't understand at first. Only on YouTube. Different person, different persona, different everything. Yeah, let's take a guess, Time Mark. He only behaved that way on YouTube. Totally different person outside of that. I'll start. Time Mark says Jeff. Yeah, Cliffan. Reese, the cellist, I need you to get the tweezers and pluck my ear hairs. Ew. Okay, Sassy, we can go past it then. All right, everybody guess. Who do I miss more? Go. Saved by Grace. Quit saying Adam. God, you guys, let that guy go. All right, we got a Jeff, Tommy, Jeff, Geoff, Linda, Jeff, Fred. Of course, Fred doesn't count. Fred's always going to be number one. Anthony Hopkins, quit it, Tony. Jeff, Fred. Guys, Fred is always number one. Tommy for the laughter, cellist for the stability. Yeah, that's true. Jeff the Cuddlebug, Tommy, Jean. You miss laughing with Tommy, but not Tommy or Jeff. Tommy, Jake. I forgot about Jake. Neither. Fred, Tommy, Jeff, Hannibal Lecter, Michael, Tommy. No one, Reese. You're an independent woman. I like that. Jeff. Tommy for the dick. Yeah. Jake from State Farm. David Miscavige. Kestrel, you're in a whole other universe. Miss Sassafras, Jeff. Michael. Okay, that's a lot of mixed ass. That's a lot of mixed up. That's a mix up. That's a whole mishmash. I never did call Fred Freddie because Fred called his son Freddie. Tommy for the sex. Guys, I'm sorry to break this to you. I know that Tommy, I definitely said that he was good at that. Jeff was very good at that too. And Jeff was way, way more loving when it came to sex. Hands down. Cuddly, snuggly, like would caress my face, would say, I'm so in love with you. I love you so much. You're so beautiful. All those things. So yes, I know that I sold it like, wow, Tommy was so good in the sack. I don't know. Yeah, I love Philip Seymour Hoffman. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people are good in the sack, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't really miss that. And I don't, yeah, I was playing up his ego for sure. Time Mark. I would say I was playing up his ego, but I'm not going to get into that. There's a lot of things there that I could say. So, Jeff was way the fuck more, I know, way more loving. Um, and Jeff was very good in the sack. Jeff was very good in the sack. And I kind of remember thinking that. I kind of remember just for the sex part of this, so we get that out of the way. I kind of remember thinking that, like, Tommy had a very big ego. He was very, very, very ego driven, like sexually, and he knew he was good at it. And he talks about it still. Like he knows he's good at it. Well, that's great, but tons of people are good at it. Yeah, Sassy Savage, tons of people are good at it. Like it didn't blow my fucking mind. It wasn't like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. I've never had anything this amazing. It didn't, it was all right. It was good. It was very, very good. But like, I actually thought about that this morning. It's weird that we're talking about this. I don't know why I thought about it, but after I got out of the shower, I was like, was it? Or did I just think it was? Like, anybody can be good at that. Sex is pretty fucking simple to master, in my opinion. Like, it's it's next guy. I will have absolutely no problem being like, okay, just one finger and go a little bit to the left. Actually, I like it this way, not this way. I have no problem saying stuff like that, Buffy. Like, I'm not trying to get gross with you guys, but like, I'm not quiet. I don't have a problem being like, I don't like that. I like this. Do that a little bit faster. Do that a little bit slower. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is sex is not that amazing. Like you can make it amazing and it's the chemistry with the person. So I don't know. I don't know. Now let's switch to Jeff sex. Before I answer the question, let's switch to Jeff sex. It was harder to have sex with Jeff because he was so large and it was just different. It was just different. But as far as skills, moves, right? Like skilled, Jeff will give you a run for your money any day. Like Jeff was very, very good at that. And I have said this 100 times. Yeah, Topsy, sex to me is extremely personal. Like I don't, what I mean by that is, and you guys know this, I don't want to just go sleep with a bunch of different dudes. Like I don't want to just go have sex to have sex. I will not do that ever again. It means something to me. It means a lot to me, actually. Like it's a very intimate thing, and it makes me cling to a man because I'm like, only I can do this with you and only you can do this with me. And that makes us very, it makes me love it's sex. I equate it to love, which is not good. That's why I won't be doing it anytime soon. But Jeff was incredibly lovey-dovey. So after sex, he would hold me and caress me, and like Jeff would like give me foot rubs and back rubs, and he'd like play with my hair, and he'd be like, you're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Like, so whether he was telling the truth or not, I don't know. But I need that. I really enjoy that, and it means something to me. Okay. Yeah. Tender, very tender. So whether we like Jeff or not, I really enjoyed that side of it. And I miss that terribly. I really do miss that. It was important. And he hit every box for me there. Tommy was the opposite of that. No cuddling, no snuggling, like hardly any touching, like just very, looking back, I'm not going to go into it, but looking back, there's a lot of things where I'm like, I don't know. And I'm not going to go into it. Yeah, a lot of positive affirmations went in there with Jeff. Tommy was very skilled. He knew what he was doing, like a lot of men. That's how I look at that. Like, I don't think he was one in a million. I don't think he was a fucking needle in a haystack. I think that a lot of men know what they're doing sexually. I don't usually run into problems like that. I don't know. Um, okay, well, I'm sorry, Bo. Um, but as far as who do I miss the most? Oh, I love what someone said. I miss Tommy making me laugh. Tommy really made me laugh. We were funny together. I also made him laugh. Okay. But Jeff brought me a lot of stability. Tommy never made me feel stable. I felt very unstable with him. He made me feel shaky and nervous and like, what's coming next? I felt the opposite of stability with Tommy, right? Jeff made me feel very like ghostwriter, like a safe space. Like as far as like, yeah, I felt safer with Jeff because he put a home there for. I mean, I helped buy it, but like we established a home. Um, he took me places. Jeff made me a priority. Jeff would say, let's go out and get you a dress and go out to dinner. Or like we would go get pedicures together. Like Jeff and I, like we went to Whole Foods together. He would take me to Sephora. Like he wanted, now Jeff had way too much control over me. And when he didn't like me, he'd take my car keys away. Dude was a creeper in a lot of ways. So I'm not saying this was lovey, right? But yes, Jeff was totally marriage material. Tommy is not. Tommy is a one night stand material, probably. Like Tommy is really good at like telling you what you want to hear and bullshitting you and being really good physically, but can't actually put a house there for you or make you feel like you have a future. Like we never, looking back, I see that now. And Jeff made me feel like here's some stability. Like, let me put that. What do you mean, Cliff Ann? What do you mean by that question? Why did Jeff change to physical? I don't know what that means. But Jeff was always lovey dovey, like touchy, feely. Like I love that in a man. You know, I would like wake up in the morning or go to bed at night and he would be like massaging my feet. He'd like start rubbing my calves. Like he was just very like, is the word tactile? He was just very touchy and I loved that. Um, Tommy was the opposite. Like there's never going to be everybody's going to be all correct, right? You know what I'm saying? Like they're not going to check every box. But as far as I probably miss Jeff a lot more because he also, yeah, Liz, he also I don't know what I'm trying to say. What last name do you use now? My last name is Jeff's last name, Quibell, which sucks. I really hate that last name, but I'm kind of at this point stuck with it because it's attributed to my channel. Like it's not the worst last name. I mean, I don't hate Jeff, so I don't like cringe when I think, ooh, I have Jeff's last name. Like, for instance, Jeff's ex wife, Wanda, she would not want that last name. She doesn't want to be attributed to him in any way. She doesn't want to think about him. She has a lot more PTSD when it comes to Jeff, right? Oh, yeah, you had a life together with Jeff. Tommy was a relationship. And Tommy just didn't have anything to offer me in the long run. He said he did, but he never showed me those things, right? Like he was all hot air and talk. There was never anything to show. Um, oh, I think that's probably true, Lady O. I agree with that. I love that kissy kitty. I got to go back to Home Depot for that reason. Snag me a guy. Quibell. Yeah, that's my last name, Quibell. And I got to be honest, I miss Tommy calling me Quibs. I really liked that. Nobody calls me that. I used to really like that, Quibs. Um, yeah, Jeff was a true grown up. Jeff was very established as a man. You know, he was an entrepreneur. He owned his own company for like 38 fucking years. Like Jeff had the goods to show. He didn't just pretend and say like, I'm a real badass. Like he actually had established himself and had, you know, I don't want to say money because Jeff was full of credit card debt. He wasn't like loaded or anything, but he was a caregiver as far as like we made a life together, right? Like we did things together. He made me a priority. So I miss that hundreds of times over more. Honestly, you miss the nurturing type of love with Jeff, even though both exes are better off as exes. She is absolutely right. Like, I don't miss either one. I would not want either one of those guys in my life at all. Like, I don't miss them. I don't think about them. But talking about this is interesting. And I hope it's not offending anybody, right? But it's fun to talk about this because I don't feel so triggered. I will say, I said this the other night. I'm not mad at Jeff at all. I am mad at Tommy. I'm very mad at Tommy. I'm angry with him. That will probably fade away into my memory. Have you ever, that bothered me hugely that Tommy didn't like me talking about Fred. Mm-hmm. When did Jeff become abusive? He became physically abusive after we got married. And it only happened a couple of times. And I know that everyone's going to go, what the fuck did you just say? I just want to clarify. He wasn't like beating me every week. It wasn't like that. It happened like 2 times. So it's one time is way too much. I don't approve of abuse. I'm just saying I didn't want to make that sentence saying he got abusive after our marriage physically and then make it sound like Jeff was abusing me constantly. It wasn't a constant thing, even though one time is way too much. Of course, no one condones abuse, right? Have you ever dived into the difference in men? Both were stunted. Yeah, Tommy didn't like me talking about Fred. The difference in those guys is way too huge to even like they had. Let me ask you this: what are their similarities? There were none. Those guys were not similar in any way, right? I don't think. I don't think those guys were similar. I mean, they were both to a degree dick swingers, but one kind of had more to show for it than the other. Um, Yeah, it's fresh with Tommy. The hurt is still fresh. I'm just very angry with him. I'm very angry with him, and I'm sure that will fall away at some point. I know he's very angry with me, and I couldn't fucking care less, honestly. Um, yeah, Ree. Oh man, Nacho's mom. Yeah, time mark. I agree with that too. Mental abuse can be worse than physical abuse. I totally agree with that. It absolutely can be. But abuse can come in different forms. And that's true too, Marlugo. Abuse of any kind, of course, we don't condone. But I just wanted to make it clear that Jeff was not physically, he was very mentally abusive. Let's be honest. Both of those guys were, but he was not physically abusive like day after day. I don't know the answer to that time, Mark. Both tried to be bigger than you. Well, both of them tried to intimidate the shit out of me. That's for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, both of those guys tried to be scary and intimidate me. Absolutely. They tried to overpower me, I would say. They definitely, and they did. They didn't try to, they did. I handed my power over to them. Yeah, both are abusive in different ways. And this is very true. You have the gift now of learning from those relationships to exactly what you don't want. Correct. Yeah. Yvonne. No, I haven't. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know why I'm not attracted to dick swingers beats, so I'm not sure. Yeah, look at me now. How long was I with Jeff? For 5 years. So that's the other thing. Like, I had an actual life with him. I had a marriage with him. He took care of me, like, in our marriage. Um, Tommy never did any of that. I never felt taken care of by Tommy. Never. He sold that idea, but he didn't actually do it, right? No, I haven't yet, Renee B, but I need to. Interesting. See, okay, West Coast fan. Good night, JoJo. Love you, girl. I was just talking to my friend about my ex. I suffered both physical and verbal. I would say verbal was worse. I would agree, but that's subjective, right? Like, I would say verbal abuse and the gaslighting and all of that to me was worse than the physical, because verbal lasted still. Like, I still feel the effects, right? The residual effects of that. Absolutely. Haley Sane, saved by grace. Absolutely. And that right there is why Tommy means zero to me anymore. Um, he just wasn't who he presented himself to be. He just sold me on something totally different than what he presented with, right? Um, we didn't know either of them. So as an outsider, neither of them seemed to be on your level. Interesting. Yeah, all talk, no action. Yeah. I can understand why you were initially attracted to Tommy. Well, I was. Guys, I really loved him too. And I really loved Jeff. Just two totally different guys. Two totally different guys. Friendship, communication, lover doing things are key. Yes. Thank you, Michael Malloy. We love you. I'm glad that you're here. Thank you. Gaslighting destroys who you are. I left. I didn't know who I was anymore. Exactly. That's why I agree with the verbal abuse being worse, because it chips away at who you are. It makes you question yourself. Yep. Makes you question your sanity. I am glad you are strong and bullheaded now. I don't think you will ever put yourself in that position again. Glad for you. Some men don't like headstrong women. I don't think I will either. And let's hope I don't, guys. Let's hope I don't fall for something again, because there's a reason that I am attracted to it for whatever reason. I don't know what the reason is. Um, ex-con, they watch and study people. He studied you and became the part you needed to let him. So that's interesting that you yeah, I noticed him intimidating you. Absolutely. It's interesting that you say that, Time Mark. I brought that up in session today. Oh my god, I'm a Scientologist. I brought that up in therapy today. I said in session. I don't feel bad about it. I'm not ashamed. It was a session. I brought that up in therapy today. And my therapist said that to me. He said, Tommy, he said, this is weird that we're talking about this, because he said, Tommy and Jeff are so different. He said, from what it sounds like, he said, Tommy, basically what she just said, studied everything that you were wanting. Like, he listened to everything and listed out, probably in his mind, everything that you complained about, everything that you were wanting, things you complained about Jeff not doing, things that you were really needing at the time. And he listed that shit out and he became those things. But when that's not authentic and you're not a real, when you're not, it's not real, eventually that shit wears off, right? He is a professional. And it wore off way too late. I was already hooked, right? Like, I was super, super, super in love with this person by the time it started to wear away. And then here we are, right? Yeah, I agree with this. Yeah, you loved the character Tommy Scoville, not Brett Miller, the man you did know. Tommy Scoville is a character. We have to remember that. That's not even a real person. It's a character. It's exactly right. Shelly Kelly, it took me time to figure out who I was after my first marriage. It was a high control situation, and I still have flashbacks to some of the anxiety. I am so sorry. That's horrible, Shelly Kelly. I'm glad, though, that you're in a really happy relationship now. Thank you for your super chat, and I love you. Yep. Lumen, yes. Tommy was brought in your life to get you away from your marriage because his past, Jeff knew he couldn't hurt you and you were able to leave. And that was the only reason he came into your life when he did. Yeah. Me too, Bumblebee. Here's the only thing that I'll say to that. Let me ask you guys this. Because of what our, hey, Kimberly in Japan, because of what Armine just said, and I'll probably pay for this comment somehow, some way. I'm sure the haters are going to be all over this. Sure, Tommy did come into my life to get me away from Jeff. As a former cop, so not sure if that had anything to do with it, but I didn't vibe with Tommy, the character. It was obvious to some of us. I'm sorry he hurt you. Thank you, Disco Bodega. A lot of people have said that. So a lot of people have said he came and got you away from Jeff. Let me ask you this. This is controversial as shit, but I'm going to do it anyway. Which one was safer? Did he rescue me from Jeff? I mean, looking back, I even felt that way, right? Like I was very scared to be with Jeff at this point when things were getting heated, when I was leaving, the gestures, all of that was real at the time. Kind of like the time I did the long con video and I was afraid that they were going to come kill me. That was real at the time, but it never happened, right? So what, looking now that we can see and zoom out, now we know what we know. Yeah. I disagree, Kestrel. Let's put it this way. Do you guys remember when I said that on the long con video and I was like, he's going to come kill me? I really believed that. I was also threatened that. That's why I believed it. Never once was I afraid that Jeff was going to come hurt me here. I was never afraid of that. Yeah, Bo, you are. Hey, Carrie Bruton. TS was riding your coattails, period. The end. He played the good guy. Well, he played the good guy, that's for sure. Both held dangers in different ways. Yeah. Jeff was safe because he wanted to be a husband. Yeah, I agree with that. Bye, no one. Love you, girl. Yeah, I would agree with everybody's vote here. I don't think either were safe. They were both threatening in different ways, better without either. Well, totally. I agree with that, Jane. Jane's correct in all of this. But if we had to go back and look, I'm just saying, I think Jeff was probably the safer one because he just wasn't as threatening. Fear is based on a true story. Good one. Women's Warrior, it was very hard when I found you. Sit on my hands and not saying to you about those things. I only saw 2 lives with you and I was about to reach out, but I can understand a lot of people did. Is it possible that you used Tommy to get away from Jeff? Not that Tommy took you, but you saw Tommy as a way out? I think it went both ways. That's a great point. I think it went both ways, but Tommy wanted me far, far, far away from Jeff. He absolutely hated Jeff for obvious reasons, right? He wanted me, right? He saw something he wanted and he got it. But I think we both used each other. Yeah, I used him to get out of that situation. I think so. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not embarrassed to admit it. I really liked TS. Well, so did I. Cliff Ann, 100% I do. Yes. 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 Yeah, we all really liked Tommy, guys. And this isn't a Tommy bashing thing. And he could be watching right now. And I don't give a holy fuck if he is. This isn't a Tommy bashing thing. This is my life. And I'm talking about it from my perspective, right? I'm not trying to open up new wounds and I'm not trying to throw shots at him. It's just, it fucked me up. It really messed me up. And I, for the most part, I feel like I've worked through it. I feel like I hardly think about him anymore. And I try to, if I do think about him, I try to think about the things I liked. And I do that with a lot of situations. I love that, Elizabeth Miller. I do that with a lot of situations in life. Bad situations, I try to look at the good. And what was the good? He made me laugh. He really made me laugh. He made me think in that time that he loved me, right? Like he made me He got me to believe some things, but he really made me laugh. And that's what I'm going to choose to take with me and leave the rest. I don't want to be bitter. I don't want to be mad at him. I want to just move on and be left alone from all of this. And at some point, we won't talk about him anymore. And I think we're doing great at not talking about him. I don't want to talk about him. I don't have anything to say about him. I really don't. I don't have anything I want to say about him. Me too. I think that too, West Coast Fancy Nancy. I wonder that sometimes. Yeah, he played a good part, but Jeff played himself. I would say 100 times over, Jeff was way more authentic. Way more authentic. Yes, Angel K. Hey, Richard Sparks. Did you just have a birthday? I feel like you did. I feel like I just told you happy birthday on Facebook. Thank you, Michael Malloy. I'm happy you are so honest and open and honest. Tommy is a dangerous person, and you were very lucky it ended the way it did. It could have been a lot worse. Yeah, it could have been, I suppose. I don't know. I love that you can take the few good bits and keep it moving. Bigger and better things coming in the future. Yeah, absolutely. And I learned a lot from him. I mean, there's always lessons that you learn from stuff like this. Tommy taught me a lot of good things too. I mean, it wasn't all bad. He made me laugh and he taught me some really good lessons. But it ended up being all bad in the end, right? Like there's not much good now. Tommy is absolutely a charmer. If I had one word for him, he's a charmer. He's a charmer, big time. And I had to become a snake charmer. Yeah, we do think with our hearts. Me too, Angel K. I'm happy to be safe and I'm happy to be single. And until the right guy, or, I'll have to go through a few guys and date some different people, but somebody will come along that I think the only thing I'm looking for that's different from Tommy and Jeff, because honestly, those guys both, if I'm going to be totally honest here, again, controversial, those guys both, I did stretch, had a lot of really good qualities that I would like to take and extract and have in a new guy. Like those guys both had, oh, good. It was your birthday. Okay. I thought so. Happy birthday. They both had some really good qualities. Tommy is hilarious, right? There's no changing that. He's hilarious. And so is his brother. They're both very funny, charming guys, right? Jeff had a lot of really good qualities as well. So it's not like they're all bad. They just weren't. We should have never. I should have never, ever been with, especially Tommy. You are the best snake charmer that I know. And Tommy would agree with you on that. I've seen some of his streams where he gets some real digs in at me and he'll say something like that. He said something like, we'll never talk again. And let me put it this way. He was like, I'd rather jump in front of a train than ever be in a room with her again. So that tells you how he feels about me and where he stands, right? So I'm not saying anything that he's not feeling, I'm sure, just as much. He's said a lot of shit about me just as much. So I get it. We're both bitter. We're both angry. And that's probably where we will sit and marinate and stew in it until, he gets a new girlfriend or a band of girlfriends, which I'm guessing is already going on. And I get somebody new and I move on. Who cares, right? Yeah, Elizabeth Miller, totally. Peggy says, Reese, if you could go back and make changes in your life, would you, or would you leave it as is because of the lessons you've learned? That's a great question. Time mark. So I was thinking about this question. It's a similar question. Is it better to have experienced all this and have lost it all than not to have experienced it all? And that's kind of what I mean, what I feel like you mean here. Renee B, are people telling you about what he's saying, or do you watch? Both. People will say something to me and I'll go look for myself. Now, in all fair and seriousness, I have not done that for a while now. I cannot find myself being able to watch him. I get very uncomfortable watching him. He makes me uncomfortable. I don't like when he does get his digs in about me and he leans into the camera and like does that shit. I don't like it. And I know it's for me. I know that he's being a dick specifically at me. And I don't like that. So I don't watch it. And I'm kind of sober from all of the hate. Like, I would consider that hate. And what I'm doing right now isn't any better, guys. I'm sinking to the level that I'm talking about. So keep that in mind. Okay. I'm doing exactly what I don't like about him. So, um, I have been pretty sober from watching any of that stuff. And most people don't tell me about it anymore. I don't want to know when he says something really shitty about me. I don't want to know. I don't need to know. That's his problem, his concern, his life, his business. Hopefully, Tommy, I know he says he's moving. Hopefully he moves and he gets a whole harem of fucking women. Like, and he just doesn't ever think about me. What my wish would be is that he would never think about me ever again. That would be my wish. Like, I wish I could erase me from his memory. I wish that it never occurred. Like, I wish he didn't know who I was. If I could make that happen. I'm serious. Like, it would be amazing if he never thought about me again. Kind of shabby. Yeah. Yeah. If you could go back and make changes in your life, would you? Because he's such a charmer, Ty Mark. He's a womanizer. He's all about women. Shabby, I didn't take that as snarky at all. I just know his patterns. I know who he is. I don't know that this is a good question. And this is a good question for, of course, Stretch. This is a good question for an actual stream, like content. I think with Scientology, if I could go back and make changes, I probably wouldn't. I like my life where it is now. I like how it all fell into place. I like how Aaron outed me. I like how I've met all these people and I'm lifted up by all these people. I like how it's all turned into what it has. As far as the people I've chosen in love, if I could change it, yeah, I probably would. I like the lessons I learned from them. I don't know that I would change Jeff. I would probably change Tommy. I really wish, and not because of who he is necessarily. It's more because he's a YouTuber. I wish I hadn't dated a fucking YouTuber. Like, I wish in the future, I don't ever want to date anybody in the public eye unless it's that, who's that guy I have a crush on? Rob Gronkowski or like something like that. If it's going to be like somebody really famous, fine. But otherwise, I don't want to date a fucking YouTuber ever again. Like, I hate that this has gotten so messy. I hate that I put it all splashed on YouTube for the world to see. I hate that everybody knows everything. I hate that I'm on here now and then he's going to be on and then I'm on and he's going to get his digs in. And he's going to say shit. I hate it. I fucking hate it. All the other haters can say whatever they want about me. I wasn't in a romantic relationship with them though. So it doesn't get to me as much. I hate it. Yeah, I hate it. I do. Let me give you this example. When you break up with someone and you go like stalk their Facebook page or their social media to see what they're up to, right? Like to go stalk them and like, or you ask like a friend about them who's still in touch with them. This is on steroids because my ex is right here on social media, on YouTube, and I can go tune in if I want and watch him talk shit about me like I'm doing right now. It sucks. It sucks. It's no good. It doesn't help you heal. It's not good for your heart. Like, it's bad enough to be able to go look at someone's Facebook page. I can go tune in and I don't want to. I don't want to know. I don't want to know the digs. I don't want to know the lies. I don't want to know the shit that he's saying. I don't want to know. And hopefully he doesn't. He probably doesn't because I keep my mouth shut most of the time. This was a good stream and I don't regret it because I love you, Bo, because we were comparing my relationships. It wasn't just Tommy. I'm talking about Jeff too. And I'm comparing some real things. And I said good things and I said bad things. And everybody has good and bad from their relationship. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Would you ever have Thank you, Elena Rainaman. Would you ever imagine you would be a YouTube star? Well, drop the star. No, I'm not a YouTube star. That couldn't have been anywhere in your brain when you were in Scientology. I am a YouTuber. Nobody knows who I am, but I appreciate saying that. I am not a star. I have a tiny little channel and it's getting smaller by the day. So, no, I would not consider myself anybody that anyone knows. Yep. The absolute only way to get over someone is to disconnect completely to get through it. And we are fully, completely, totally disconnected, like full on. Tommy and I won't ever speak again. Honestly, I think you have helped all of us to be careful of individuals on the internet. I love that, Stretch, and I hope that's true. I hope that's true. Yeah, it sucks. It's a bum deal to be able to go stalk your ex-partner, like, even just on social media, but because you dated a YouTuber and your entire everything, well, not everything. Not everything's out there about us, not everything, and it won't unless he puts it out there, but it sucks that everything pretty much, like the messiness of it all is out there and people can just pick it apart, make fun of you, laugh at you, mock you, easily just put themselves in your shoes and go, why didn't you just leave? Why didn't you just do this? Right. I did, Lemster. It is not weird to talk exes after a breakup. No, it's not. Does your dad know a nice rancher? You would be a great Western socialite. I mean, you do love to wear hats. Becky USA, I don't know if he does. That's a great question. There's a lot of nice ranchers around here. They're probably all married. Oh, he didn't. West Coast Fancy Nancy. Reese, who cares if Tommy thinks this is messy? You are a person sharing your journey. If they didn't want to be talked about, they shouldn't have ever dated you. You are sharing your story. Yes and no. Yes and no. I don't love putting this mess on YouTube. Like, if I date another guy, and I will, and we break up, I'm not going to plaster it all on YouTube because he won't be a public figure. I mean, there's nothing wrong with going through the emotions of things and the loss and the pain and the heartache, but like throwing shots at each other sucks. Like, nobody wants to do that. I don't want to sink that low. I don't want to use his fucking name on this channel, to be honest. I really don't. I can talk about Jeff all day long. I can't talk about Tommy because I'm angry with him. I'm angry with him. And he knows it, right? And he's angry with me, and I'm sure he hates me. So it is therapeutic. It is. Every once in a while, it's therapeutic. I'm not going to be a drama channel that just like stirs the pot up on this stuff. There's really nothing to recycle about it anyway, other than I like the topic that was brought up tonight about like weighing between the two men. It's weird because Jeff is totally a different personality, totally different person than Tommy. It's weird. They're very different. So clearly I must not have a type. Yeah, Ree, I agree with that. I must not have a type. True, Sassy. Bumblebee, I love that. Jessica, I'm glad. Sarasota Blend says, you're not. It's what most women go through. I mean, yeah, it hurts. It hurts. It hurts to think that I really believed. I mean, you guys know this. You were holding my hand through it with Tommy, right? We were all falling in love with Tommy and the idea of Reese and Tommy. And I really believed him. And I really thought, like, this is my best friend, my person, my future, my everything. West Coast Fancy Nancy, I'm going to fucking agree with this and excuse my language. I'm sorry to be cussing so much. It is his loss. That's the only take that I now take away. I was thinking about that today when I was driving back from Publix. And I try not to think about Tommy. I really do kick him out of my mind. But he was charming, Cliff Ann. It is his loss. It isn't my loss. It is his loss. I am a good partner in a relationship. I really am. I bring a lot to the table, and I think underneath, if he were willing to, he'd admit to that. I was a really, really good partner to him. You know, I really am caring and giving, and I give it my all. And I'm very, very pleasing, like people pleasing. And um, I do feel like I enhanced his life. I made him very happy, and he said that. And I do feel it is his loss. I miss the good times, of course, but I can have good times by myself and with you guys and with friends. Yeah, Saved by Grace. What drew you to Tommy? I mean, I would just say he was very, very charming. He was very funny. He made me laugh. I love laughing. I love that. And I think you guys all saw it. He was just there was just something about him. There was something very charismatic. He's a good speaker. He's very confident. He's very confident, right? And I didn't even know this. Con man means confidence man. That's what con means, confidence man. He was incredibly confident in his words, and I'm very attracted to confident men. Jeff was also a very confident man. Fred was a very confident man. That doesn't mean they're a con man. It just means they're very confident. Hey, Lacey Silver. This is a long stream. But yeah, I obviously do not have a type. I did feel like I was taken advantage of by both of those men. Like my vulnerabilities. I think that those guys both saw, oh, this one's easy to control. And took advantage of that. I really do. Like this one will say yes to anything. This one doesn't say no. And this one is easy to control. That's kind of how I saw that. It's kind of how I felt about that. Um, yeah, he knew my ruin. I have no idea what you mean by this rumor. Any truth to this rumor? I have no idea what you mean. But oh yeah, he's very good at love bombing. Hey, Debbie A. And honestly, I don't know that I care about any rumors. Like I don't know that I want to know anything about his life going forward. I have no doubt he's going to get another girlfriend or probably several girlfriends. And I mean, I think the validation has to keep going there. I think that he thrives on feminine, female validation. Um, yeah, Topsy, I'm very much a people pleaser. Thank you, Renee B. Yeah, he did say that, Buffy. Fred gifted me to Jeff. It was creepy. Jeff said that. Yeah, it was super creepy. I was always creeped out when he would say that. And it's not true. It's not true. It's weird. Um, I don't have I don't have any doubt that he will probably make an effort to try to make me jealous in some way or upset in some way. But the joke will absolutely be on him because I won't even know about it. I don't want to know. I don't care. Um, Con man is short for convict, not confident. So con man does not derive from confidence man. Like if you're conning someone, hmm. No, I won't, Lumen. There's nothing to offer there. He could have 15 new girlfriends. I don't think I would feel jealous because there's nothing to offer. There's no prize. Nobody will win anything there. Thank you, Yvonne. You bring more to the table than could be expected by anyone. You are a genuine person with not a lot of experience in different partners. All those little tricks to reel you in, he learned from jail. That could be Richard. Yeah, a lot of people are saying it does mean confidence. Absolutely, Time Mark. I agree. Sarasota Blend says you are so young. In a year, you will laugh about this and think it was just a stepping stone to the rest of your life. Yeah, I will laugh about this. Guys, that's what I mean. Like, I miss Jeff more than Tommy because Jeff and I had a real life together. There was substance to that. Like, we had a marriage, we traveled, we did things. Like, Tommy was a blip. It was quick, it was over, it was messy, it was painful, and I really, really loved him, right? Finn is right here sleeping like the little snuggly man that he's. Oh, Finny.
Oh, him's a little baby. Oh, that's my little boy.
Um, yeah, Cat, it was weird. But Tommy literally was a blip in time. It just won't stay with us for very long. Binion is happy for Finn, but he misses Gertie. I know, Marlugo. Don't worry. She'll be in here. I'm just trying to get them, thank you for your super chat, like used to each other. Finn doesn't like dogs and he really doesn't like Bo. So I'm going to try to get him used to Gertie. But Gertie is a Miss Sass. Like, I'm afraid she's going to be snarky with him. And I don't want that either. So I'm trying to take it slow. I think we all miss the last partner until we find the next one. Laura Lou, I love that. I think that's true, right? Yeah, Topsy, that's right. I just am looking for a guy that does love me unconditionally. Absolutely. Question. Thank you, Women's Warrior. Yeah, I had a home with Jeff. That's true. How much does Hux know and what does he say, if you are comfortable telling us? Huxley knows I'm very angry with Tommy. Huxley's very angry. Like, he doesn't appreciate anything, like what he doesn't know everything. Obviously he's 15, he's almost 16, and I've always been careful about what's age appropriate, like sharing with him, but he heard enough and he witnessed enough of us fighting and things like that. He's not a fan. He says all the time, I will never ever treat a woman that way. Like, you don't ever deserve to have a man talk to you that way. You don't ever deserve to have a man treat you that way, Mom. And I'm like, no. And so that's why the next guy will never meet Huxley for a very long time, because I feel very guilty in that I have set that example for him and I feel horrible about it. I feel horrible about it. So I'm never going to do that to him again. However, there has to be a guy out there that I've always said this, like, hey, Ellie J. Yes, Ellie. I love you, Ellie J. It didn't break either one of us. And I know that there's going to be a guy out there that meets me and it's just going to be a fit. Eventually it will happen. I know there's going to be a guy that's going to be like, I've felt underappreciated my whole life. You check every box. Like, I feel like eventually it will happen that I know I'm a good person and I know I'm a good partner and I'm not like neglectful and I'm very loving and I offer a lot when I'm in a relationship. I offer a lot. I'm very caring and I really worry about you and I want to cook for you and I want to do your laundry and I'm probably overly mothering. Like, Fred used to say that to me. He'd be like, "Okay, Mother Hubbard." Like, it was a lot, but like, I very much care and pay attention to detail and I love sex. And so, like, it's kind of the whole package. I'm not saying that I come with issues too. I'm previously a Scientologist. I'm very insecure, right? Like, there's a lot. I saw the best meme. Not really, Renee B. We just talked about it. As a matter of fact, I talked with my therapist about Huxley today, and he was like, he sounds like he's right on track. Sounds like a really good kid. I saw a meme that said, it was a woman that said, but I overthink everything. I loved this. And the man said, then I will over explain everything. It made my heart flutter. That's what I'm looking for. Unconditional love and a guy that fits exactly how he should in my life. Like, I do overthink everything. Then I'll over explain everything. Like, I loved that. I loved that. Like, you will complement what I lack. Like, you will bring what I need. Like, Yes, Marlugo. I do too. I loved it. It was a woman, and she said, "But I overthink everything." Love you, Lemster. And he said, "Then I'll over explain everything." And I just thought, I said this the other day. My next guy has to be extremely patient and very calm. I will never, ever, ever put up with a guy with anger or rage issues ever the fuck again. Ever again. Never again. I do not have anger or rage issues. Therefore, I do not deserve to have a partner that has anger or rage issues. I will not put up with it. So there's somebody out there that will be able to be very soft, masculine, but very confident, but also unconditionally love. But I need someone who's very, very willing to be patient with me and understanding and calm, because there's a lot of things I don't know and I have a lot of questions about things. And I do need to be over explained to. A lot of times I do. I often have a lot of questions. So anyway, I feel like this stream went way too long. While you're in here, hit subscribe. You often get unsubscribed from YouTube. So a lot of people tell me that. This was a good stream, and I hope that we didn't go too far. I hope I didn't. When is my birthday? July 8th, 1984. Hux is learning from you. How much pressure is that? What is that? What do you mean? Yeah, Marlugo. It will happen, guys. Love you too, Buffy. It will happen. I have every bit of confidence it will happen. I'm 40 years old. And I'm eager. I love people. I love talking to people. I love men. I appreciate them so much. I'm not bitter. I'm not like, ugh, I'm done with men. Hey, Sharon HL. It's nothing like that. I have hopes because I love men. I absolutely love men. I love the role that they play in this world. I love how much they help women. They hold the door. They're courteous. Not all of them are bad. I will find a good one that's available and not married. 1984. I love you, Dawn. And guys, thank you for listening to me today. I feel like I needed to get this out. I'm glad that we did this. It was very therapeutic. I will be back tomorrow afternoon. And thank you for your super chats. Thank you for your memberships. Hey, Susie CJ. And just most of all, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to me, right? Yes, Sarasota Blend. The next guy I date has to be able to take care of himself financially. I'm not going to date another broke ass dude that I have to pay for. He has to be able to financially be established. He has to. I don't want to have to pay for anything that's not mine, right? This was awesome. And I love you guys. Love you, Susie CJ. Love you, Sassy. And I will love you, Trisha Kelly. Thank you for your input. This was a good stream and I feel really good about it. Thank you. And I will see everybody tomorrow. And here comes Fred, guys.